Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl.
Yeah. You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that fam? What's good, family? What's going on, man? What's good with the family, man? What's good with it? Good to see the family members in the building. Welcome to the Sports Coma. Once again, family running a little behind schedule. Had a lot to do, man. Had a lot to do, but good to see the Saints family in the building, man. Big ups to the Black and Gold family members in the building. As once again, as we firing it up like nobody could. So big ups to all the family members in the live stream. Much love to you. Everybody, you know, I do my rundown. Derek L., who that to you? Gerard Stevenson, who that to you? Demi, who that to you? DLP, who that to you? True Louisianimal, who that to you? Kevin, GM Kev, who that to you? JT, what up, JT? Good to see you, fam. Who that to you as well? Gerard said the Saints should select inside linebacker Logan Wilson, the guy from Wyoming. Interesting. Darius Sampy, who that to you? Travis 504, who that to you? Debo the guy. What up, Debo? Debo in the building. Ernest, how you doing, Ernest? Ernest Adams in the building. 985 Live, what's good with it? Jerry Love. Huey said some reason Peyton don't like LSU players. I don't get it, man. But he gonna respect the hell out of Justin Jefferson. I tell you one thing, big ups to you, Jerry Love. Who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the stream. And all the rest of the Black and Gold family members. Tramal, who that to you? All of the KT. What up, KT? KT in the building. Bet Decius. I'm sorry. Bet, what up, Bet? How you doing, fam? Good to see you. Henry Sanchez. What up, Henry? Who that to you as well? Gundam 13. What up, fam? Good to see you. Sean C. Good to see you. Who that to you as well? Dominic Evans. Who that to you? All the beautiful Black and Gold family members. Sean C. and the rest of the family chiming in the live stream as well. All the beautiful Black and Gold. Trail Hatch. What up, Trail? Big ups to you, Trail. Trail still burnt. He's still burnt up about yesterday. Ricky, what up, Ricky? Joey, what up, Joey? Who that to you, Joey? And there's a Bella in the building. 985J in the building. What up, fam? Chef the Flavor. What up, Chef? Who that to you? Heavy C. Henderson. Who that to you? Robert Bro. Who that to you? John Snyder. Who that to you? Dex 504. Who that to you? Greg CTC. Who that to you? Man, it's just a lot of great, beautiful Black and Gold family members chiming in. Jay Williams. What up, Jay? Who that to you? Shandon. Who that to you? Who else we got? New Hive. What up, New Hive? New Hive culture in the building. What up, fam? Crass, what up, my dog Crass? What up, fam? Troy Thompson, what up, Troy? What's good, fam? You know, I gotta shoot out the much love to the family members. Megan Kai, who that to you? Megan, I see you, baby. Ramsey, I see you, Ramsey, who that to you? Soldier for God, I see you, family. I see you in the stream. A lot of our beautiful Black Gold family members in the live stream. Much love to you. Much love to you. If I missed you, shout me out in the chat and I'll make sure I get you, family. That's how we roll tonight. Day number 2 of the draft. Jose, what up, Jose? Who that to you? Hennessy, who that to you? Hennessy Bastion, good to see you. Hennessy in the building as well. Tramal, big ups to you, Tramal, big ups. If I ain't shot y'all, family, say hello in the chat or who that in the chat and I'll get you. I'll get you. This is day 2, family. Of course, some of the draft already started. And there was some rumblings going around as far as what the Saints were going to do in terms of getting some help. JT, who that to you? Good to see you, JT. Big ups to you. If I missed your name, family, who that me in the chat, I got you, fam. There's a lot of people in the stream. Hit the like button, family, if you don't mind. Hit the like button. If you aren't a subscriber to the Great Saints Think Tank, also known as the Sports Coma, I want you to join up. Come on to the family. KT says, Big Q, I feel like this team is bargain shopping when the name brand players on sale. Loomis and Peyton reaching the store brand. Damn, bargain shopping. Damn. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bargain shopping every now and again. KT, let's see. Greg say he mad with the Saints right now. Eddie Evans, who that to you? Eddie, I see you. Big ups to you. Dimitri, who that to you? Dimitri Holmes in the building. Jerome, what up, Jerome? In the building, fam. He said, since you was late, I hope you was on the phone with Sean Payton. Sean Payton don't want to take no calls from nobody, man. I know it. It's a lot going on, family. But good to see you. What up, Farouk? Farouk Obasi. What's up, Farouk from Algiers? Big ups to Farouk. Diehard Saints fan in the building as well. Good to see you. Hot Boy Mel. What up, Hot Boy? Hot Boy Mel CC in the building as well. Zach Holden. What up, Zach? Big time. Who that to you? Steve Owen. Who that to you? Torrey Shepard Sr. What up, Torrey? Good to see you. Kyle. What up, Kyle? Who that to you? All the beautiful Black and Gold family members, I got to shout y'all. That's how we operate. And if you're not used to that, that's just how we handle. We show love all over the place. Caution. Who that to you? Big ups to you. Debo said, who that nation is definitely having a civil war. Now let me tell all the beautiful Black and Gold. What up, Steve? Steve went in the building as well. Young Nola. What up, Young Nola? Big ups to you, fam. And all the beautiful Black and Gold family members. Steve Owen. Who that to you, Steve? Good to see you. Drew Goddamn Breeze in the building. Sydney, what up, Sydney? Sydney Cox in the building. Big ups to you. Sean said we need to hear from Reverend Saint today. We're going to hear from Reverend Saint today. I promise you. I promise you we're going to hear from you. And remember, family, if you have yet to shout yourself, if I hadn't called your name out and gave you the big love, the big who that love, put your name in the chat. I promise I'll shout you out. That's how we roll here. We really important here. Okay, now, before I get going with the show, family, we're going to cover some news. I'm going to probably, during the show, play some interviews from Sean Payton to kind of provide. Gary Caraway, who that to you, Gary? Good to see you in the chat, Gary. And we're going to provide a little information. Sean Payton's interview, I'm going to play some of it, or why his thought process with picking up Cesar Ruiz. Kevin McKnight, who that to you, Kevin? Big ups to you. Russell Green, who that to you, Russell? Good to see you, fam. Big ups to you. I'm going to play some of that. And then we're going to bring in, I got a special guest I'm going to bring in tonight, the man himself and the voice of the Sports Coma theme song. Black Suede is in the building. He was one of the original guys of the show. Like I said, we've been doing this for over 5 years, over 500 shows, and we continue to grow strong and grow and get more beautiful Black and Gold family members a part of our family. Young Nola, big ups to you, Young Nola, as well. I'm going to bring Suede on in. Suede, what's happening, baby? How you doing?
Whoa, what's going on, fam? What's going on, fam? Did you miss me? With that Tommy Davidson on some more.
It's crazy because I was watching that. Yeah, I was watching that like a month ago. When did you miss me?
What's up, Black and Gold people? Yeah.
What's good with it, Sway? How you doing, brother?
Oh man, not too well, bro. I'm still sick, man.
Oh yeah, well it's Wade. A lot of family members.
I'm talking about the draft from yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I was speaking to. I know, but that could be misconstrued nowadays. It could be misconstrued nowadays.
Right.
But that's the thing. We got Black Suede in the chat right now, family. I'm gonna open up the live line. Not right now. I'm gonna let y'all know. So please just be a little patient. I'm gonna bring in Suede, then I'm gonna bring in and open the line so other people can call in and chime in on the thoughts, concerns, and as well. But I thought it was fitting to get Suede on the show, man. And Suede, brings his humor and his knowledge to the street. Well, we gonna fire it off though, Suede. But let's start it like this, my man. You seen the Saints draft the other day, man, and a lot of family members were really upset, to say the least, brother. What was your thinking, bro, about the Saints and when they picked up the Ruiz, not Ruiz, I'm saying Ruiz, Cesar
Ruiz.
When they picked up Susan.
Yeah, I was real surprised at the draft pick, man. Of course, we were expecting maybe a receiver or a linebacker or something, or maybe a cornerback, but to get a center, I learned in the draft and especially in the Saints scouts to never second guess them because they always know what they're doing. I just didn't see the reason. I'm guessing, I don't know. I thought we had what's the other center? What's the center we have now? What's this guy's name?
McCoy. Who that, Verla?
McCoy. We had Eric McCoy. We had Eaton. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't get it. Maybe they saw something we didn't see. Maybe they know something that's going to unfold that we don't know. But Sean Payton has always been focused on the offensive line, and I can dig that because without a strong offensive line, everything falls apart. Nothing works. So that's the running game, that's the passing game, and then you got to protect an aging breed. So I'm not going to second guess it. I don't understand it. But I'm not gonna be mad. I'm just gonna let it go and see what's going on and what's gonna happen. That's it, man.
Well, I mean, it was some rumblings happening. I did a little research and found out, of course, the Saints were aggressively looking to kind of move up high in the second round to see if they can obtain anything. Obviously, it didn't work because they weren't able to get there as the second round started just pouring out with talent. And you look at some of the players, the Grant Delpit ended up with Cleveland. I actually seen a mock draft where Delpit went there, Laviska Shenault. He went with the Jaguars. There's a couple of interesting names, like Gross Matos ends up with the Panthers of Carolina, and DeAndre Swift, the good running back, he's a Lion. Some of the Antoine Winfield Jr. was pretty good. He ended up going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a playmaker. We got to watch that guy. And Chase Claypool, he's a Steeler. Trayvon Diggs, the brother of Stephon Diggs, is a Cowboy. Cam Akers, who's a pretty good running back, just got picked up by the Baltimore Ravens. So, I mean, the Rams. The Rams got Cam Akers. I guess
Jalen Hurts is still in play.
Jalen Hurts just got drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. So the Saints are not. They are. We just gonna have to wait and see. A lot of family members are really upset about some of the stuff. Jalen Hurts is off the board.
Sorry. Right. I'm sorry. Philadelphia. Don't they have Carlton Wentz?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe they're gonna trade him for. Okay. I see what they're trying to do.
Well, I mean, Wentz has been hurt, and maybe there's a question mark there. But Jalen Hurts does give them a very two-pronged guy that can throw and pass. And it's a shame he went damn near in the middle of the second round. I'm sorry, running pass. And that's the thing, man. That's interesting. Jalen Hurts is off the board now, family. And you know how I was spilling and talking about Jalen Hurts. It was a possible move. Sean Payton obviously didn't like the price to move up into the second round. But shouldn't this have been something that they should have been working on before the draft start? Perhaps this was something we could have worked on before the draft. Now
I don't think you wanted Hurts.
No, I'm speaking in terms of landing. They wanted to get up into the top of the first round. There was various reports indicated, right. And I'm gonna go on and read about the report because it was in various other sources. The Bleacher Report talked about it. Seth Griffin, who that to you? He said, have we done anything? I'm just now starting to watch. Not a damn thing, Seth. Who that to you? Saints have not done anything. Who that to Pastor Williams? Good to see you, Pastor Williams. Big ups to you in the building as well. It's something. But let me read some of the report here. I'm going to share my screen with the family members here and read this report while the draft is going on. And this is basically what it is. The Saints calling teams about trading early in the second round for a second round draft pick. That was broken earlier today. And the Saints are reportedly looking to make a big move at the top of the second round. In day 2, the Saints have been calling teams with early second round picks in the hopes of landing a selection near the top of the round. The Saints do not own a second round pick, and they're not scheduled to pick until 88th overall in the third. Because of that, New Orleans will potentially have to part with one or more of the 2021 draft picks to make such a thing happen. Of course, right now, as it stands, that is not a reality, being that the second round is pretty much halfway at its halfway point or beyond its halfway point. Right. And Ian Rappaport reported that the Colts at 34 and Miami at 39 were among teams that would be interested in doing such a new move. But New Orleans made somewhat of a surprising selection at 24. Somewhat, no, it was most surprising. A lot of people were taken back by it. Right, it just busted them. They took Cesar Ruiz.
Awesome scouting team. I'm not even tripping. We the same ones that found Marcus Colston in the seventh round. So I'm not tripping on the scouts, man. They know what they're doing. They have their eyes on somebody. And if they didn't work to get that early second round, then they know what they're doing. They see a talent that they're going to get that no one is looking at. I do believe in our scouting team.
Yeah, well, you make a great point there, Swade, to be honest with you, bro, because the truth be told, man, is that our scouting team has been phenomenal. They had a report on that the Saints are in the top 5 of draft picks and getting the most out of draft picks, drafting guys. So, I mean, that's well said. And we'll just see exactly how that's going to shake, man. But a lot of people kind of confused about it. And last night when we did the live stream, I was kind of just trying to explain to the people out there, not to blow a gasket just yet. Let's see how this unfurls, you know?
Yeah.
Be a little patient and see how this all drops. Now, right now they have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 picks left in the second round. Am I expecting the Saints to move into the second round to make a selection by giving up a third round? I don't think so. But a lot of talent is coming off the board here, Swade, to be honest with you, fam. A lot of talent coming off that board. Grant Delpit ended up going to the Cleveland Browns. That was a guy that I like, severely. I think McKinney, is McKinney still on the board? The guy, Xavier McKinney was picked up by the Giants, the safety out of Alabama. And KJ Hamler, another wide receiver, he's gone. I told people about Michael Pittman, the wide receiver, 6'4" guy, son of Michael Pittman, the former running back, Arizona Cardinal, Tampa Bay Buccaneer player. He was pretty good. And, man, but the Eagles, they just they got Jalen Hurts. The Bills on the clock. We'll see how that shakes.
I understand that. I really think they're going to trade this guy. I mean, do you have Carlton Wentz already? You just drafted him 3 years ago, and he's not. I know he's been hurt.
Right.
I know he's been injured, and he hasn't did he complete a season yet? Possibly not. But he's still a quality quarterback. And I guess, I mean, yeah, right, okay. If y'all like it, I love it. I know we believe in our future in Taysom. I really think Sean is going Taysom or nothing for next year.
Yeah, we'll see. He had yet to sign his tender. There's a lot of smoke underneath that. Don't quite realize where that's going to end up. But ultimately, I think he'll end up coming back to the Black and Gold Nation. So I think that's actually really going to happen. DLP Big Ups T says Espinoza going to the Bills. That was one of the really good left defensive pass rushers, because you had Gross Matos went before him. Espinoza is now a Buffalo Bill. They got the pass rusher. Baltimore's next, followed by the Dolphins, the Rams, the Vikings, the Jets, the Baltimore Ravens again. You have Titans, Packers, Chiefs, and then the Seahawks. Going into the third round, when the Saints pick, again, the Saints, if people are asking when do the Saints pick, they pick at the 88th pick, which is
88.
Damn near, that's right, damn near smack center of the middle of the third round. So
all right.
88 is what the Saints going to pick. We're trying to be patient to wait exactly what the Saints going to do, because they could possibly make a move.
What round was Von Bell?
Who signed him?
No, what round was he in? Was he in the late second or early third? Something like that?
Von Bell?
Yeah.
You said the safety that the Saints had? I think Von Bell was a second rounder, Swade, if I'm not mistaken.
Second rounder? Okay.
I want to say let me double check that.
But wasn't he in there he was in the class with Lattimore, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a second rounder back in 2016. They took him out of Ohio State. Yeah.
Okay.
And he signed a 3-year contract to play with the Bengals. So he joined Joey Burrow up there in whatchamacallit, Cincinnati. Yeah. So
I just know there's a lot of awesome third rounders. Yeah, like I said, I just believe in our scouts, man. That's all.
Well, you made mention, you had Elvin Kamara. You made mention of him being a third rounder. So a lot of people thinking that a lot of the talent's coming off the board, and I don't want people to kind of get in their feelings about it. There's still a lot of talent left there. Just because we looking at the name guys, the Jalen Hurts, the guys that have names, and that might not be the case. Few people knew about Ruiz, but ultimately he's the guy that the Saints coveted. Now, also some more information. Sean Payton talked about. I'm gonna share my screen again with the family members so they can see this one. Sean Payton identified a few Saints first round targets. In the first round, he was looking at possibly trading up to get the San Francisco 49ers draft pick defensive lineman Kinlaw. And the thing is, don't tell me, Sean Payton, don't tell me no more about what you was gonna do. I don't want to hear the stuff. I don't want to hear the stuff. I'm about to say you like I don't want to hear the shit. I don't want to hear it no more, Swade, because you want to talk about trading up to try to trade up high in the draft to get Javon Kinlaw, and then he gets picked up by the San Francisco 49ers to go along with what they had with Bosa and all of them over there. And then he talked about getting A.J. Terrell, who the Atlanta Falcons got. Just shut up, Peyton. I don't want to hear any more from Sean Payton talking about what he was trying to do.
You and Sean Payton, you and Sean Payton just need to fight and get it over with.
No, it's just I'm just sick of the nonsense, man. You don't have to tell us, you know what I'm saying, Sway? You don't have to tell us, well, I was looking at trading up to go get Kinlaw, but you don't give them though. You don't get him though. I don't want to hear that. Don't miss me with that. He been talking like that since he missed up on Mahomes. I don't want to hear the fact that you was actually trying to go get Mahomes. And then later on, he gonna probably admit, I should have went up and get Love or Hurts. Right. Miss me with that. Because sooner or later, you got to address some key positions here. And of course, a lot of people believe that the Saints need to address situations dealing with the linebacker. So let me ask the family members in the chat here, man. I'm talking straight to the family members. We got over 100 people in the live chat. Please hit the like button, family. Big ups to you. Leo Stewart, I see you, family. Leo, big ups to you. Who that to you? Welcome
to somebody named Leo, man. What in this generation? What's up, Leo player?
So one of the things I'm talking about, though, family, is I'm gonna pose this question to the family members. First and foremost, who do you think the Saints should draft that will help them win? Give me the position and a name. Okay, so I know a lot of frustrated people out there. Let's not talk about who we already missed out on. We know Jalen Hurts.
Get out your February feeling.
Right, that's past. Let's get over that. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay in the now. The now is Verlin, who that to you? Verlin, I see your family. Let's stay in the now. And the thing is, to me, DJ, who that to you? Irvin Alexander, who that to you? Good to see you. Who do you guys think, and there's a lot of great and beautiful Black and Gold family members in this stream. Tell me the position and the player right now who you think the Saints should get in the third round at pick 88. Come on. Keontae, who that to you, fam? Good to see you there, Keontae. Big ups to you. So who do you guys think? Give me a name. Tramal says Denzel Mims, wide receiver. Donovan, who that? Donovan?
Wide receiver?
Yeah, you Donovan. That's what Mims he's versatile. He's a big wide receiver with speed. He can catch too. That's not a bad pick.
So you're telling me y'all not believing in? He's not believing in Ted Ginn this year.
Ted Ginn is gone, Sway.
Oh man,
Ted Ginn is out the door in good riddance.
He's not gonna play again.
Who that? Derek? No.
We're not gonna do this again. Okay.
I hope he don't do it again. If he gonna do it again for somebody else, it ain't gonna be for the Saints. Who that to you, Derek? Big ups to my dog, Derek Allison, in the building as well. Who has Big Smoke Dog? Who that to you, Smoke? I see you, fam. Big ups to you as well.
What position will do we need first of all?
Well, the consensus is, and maybe I should have had one of the family members to put up a question in the chat today. Trey Joseph, who that to you, Trey? I see you. Mm-hmm. To think about what's the position. Now, overwhelming group of the family members believe that linebacker is the key, that the linebacker position needs to be solved. We need a young linebackers because Demario Davis has 1 year left on his contract. If Demario gets hurt, then we might lose him. Then we get stuck with Alexander Loney, Craig Robertson, Cade Nellis.
I love Craig.
Craig, yeah. And so a lot of the family members saying linebacker is the position. They know my stance. I've been saying defensive end is the position. We need another end that can rush the passer, whether the free agency or the draft. And a lot of people would then say wide receiver. So I say the top three of the family members would say linebacker, wide receiver, and then some people would say defensive back. We need another DB. Actually quarterback. So you got linebacker, wide receiver, and quarterback. A lot of the family members is throwing that out. Now let me get through some of the chat right here and read some of the comments from some of the family members. Irvin says, Clapp, Tom, Pete, Easton, Walford, and second rated center in the league, McCoy, and we go out and draft another one. Plus, every one of them have started in the NFL. This is a move. They're trying to get rid of Larry Walford. It's kind of I don't know. I ain't gonna say foolish because it still hasn't worked itself out. You know, if they're trying to move him right now for picks, maybe they can get rid of Walford sometimes between now and tomorrow. There's some type of way get draft picks to help them in the draft. I don't know exactly what their game plan is as far as that concerned, but it's yet to shake out. But I'm saying, seems like this could have been worked out before the draft started. That way you would know what you're dealing with. You know, I don't know if it doesn't seem right. If you draft the Cesar Ruiz, and you bring him on the team, do you still have Larry Warford there? And then, of course, now a lot of articles are shaping towards Caesar playing the center and moving McCoy to guard. Whether who plays center or guard, it matters not to me. What is Larry Warford going to do? Now, if the Saints can't trade him, they obviously going to release him because you don't have a spot for him because Ruiz is not. And then, of course, Sean Payton came out of his mouth and said that we didn't draft him to sit. He drafted him to start. So maybe this could have been something they could have worked out earlier. But let's look at some of the family members' thought process way on what they think some of it should be, who they got. Okay, Keontae says should have gotten Queen. Shandon Ross says Luke Wilson, good instincts. Thank you. Soldier for God says we need a linebacker. KT says Zach Bond is still available. He's a guy that can help you with the linebacker position and also as an edge rusher as well. I like that call right there. Debo says at the 88th pick, nobody gonna be left out. Junior college MVPs.
Don't think that, brother.
Let's see. Sean says we need to get player available. Donovan says Willie Gay Jr. out of Mississippi State. I like that one too. JT says Baylor wide receiver or Michigan linebacker. KT says Tyler Johnson, the slot wide receiver out of Minnesota, very productive. DLP says Zach Bond. Sean says best player available. Trey Joseph says Randy Moss's son Thad Moss. Debo says linebacker, any damn body. Henry says I don't know names, but we need a cover linebacker. Thank you, Henry. I appreciate that.
I'm going on that Moss one. That Moss one would be a damn good addition to that offense, man. And I think Moss was. I wouldn't say it's a top priority, but hopefully he slides down and we get to grab him. With him, oh my gosh! Oh, and him and Jared Cook.
I'm looking at a lot of the stuff right now, like some of the guys that still left here. J.K. Dobbins, the running back. Zach Bond from Wisconsin is there. I think somebody going to grab him before the Saints get to the Saints. Justin Matabuki from Texas A&M. He's a guy that the Saints talk to as well. Denzel Mims is there. I hope I ain't Matabuka. Sound
like a wrestler.
Matabuk. That's my interpretation. Madudabuk. I don't know. He's just gonna have to be mad at me. I ain't trying it again because each time I tried, I screwed up even worse. Logan Wilson is there. Gallimore from Oklahoma, the defensive tackle. Jeremy Chin is another dude. Chad Prue was talking about on the previous stream. You still have a couple of quarterbacks available. Jake Fromm from State Farm. And you have Jacob Eason from Washington. Zach Moss, the running back from Utah. And there's a few other guys here. Okwara from Julian Okwara from Notre Dame is a pretty decent one. There's Lloyd Cushenberry. Of course, the Saints don't need no more centers. They could have. How about Cushenberry? He wasn't a bad center. Terrell Lewis from Alabama, outside linebacker. Still got a Meek Robinson, the very short but productive cornerback from Law Tech. LaMichael Perrine, I like him as a running back from Florida. Ashton Davis, the safety from Cal, is there. And then there is a few other guys. Harrison Bryant, the tight end from Florida Atlantic. So there's a handful of guys that's still left on the board to address the needs, man, for the team.
Right. So, I think, to cue in on that, no pun intended, Q.
No problem.
I would definitely look at wide receiver. We just having Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. Of course, I don't want to gamble on Tre'Quan Smith. I believe he's a damn, him and Dante Harris. They're pretty damn good speed. I just don't believe in them, right quick. And of course, like you said, linebacker. That linebacker core is looking weak. With DeMario, he's pretty good. Anzalone, he's decent. And Chase Hansen and Craig Robinson, you name the list. I'm just not believing in them. So a good addition at line, a nice young fresh meat pause would definitely fit in nice.
It's definitely, it needs to be an upgrade, Sway, no doubt about it, in terms of the linebacker position. And by some of the players coming off the board here, J.K. Dobbins went to the Baltimore Ravens. Boy, J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Baltimore? Baltimore got Pat Queen and then they added J.K. Dobbins too. Are you kidding me? Baltimore is swinging for the fences. Wow, man.
They want the ring, man. They want the fucking chip, man.
Man. Van Ward, who that to you? Van says Denzel Mims. Man. Arizona is looking good. Baltimore is looking good. I got to give them credit. Tampa Bay draft is looking really good. They picked up some very talented players in this draft, and then they just drafted Winfield Jr., who's a hell of a productive defensive back. Man,
that's what they said. In the words of Popeye, that's all I can stand, and I can't stand no me. Tampa Bay going in, man.
They're going this way. Venom Rage, what up to you, fam? I see you. Jerome says they traded the third round, tried to get a fifth or sixth, and get a third for next year. I wouldn't give up on the draft. Remember, the Saints still have Jeff Ireland for president, operating like my dog Scoobs always says, and we'll see. Greg says, what if the Saints draft for left tackle? Then it's curtains for Teron Armstead. Trail Hatch says, we don't need any more offensive players. We need defense. Thank you. Oh, Henry, who that to you, says draft the fastest player available and make him a slot receiver.
You have that already. Deontay Harris and Traquan.
Traquan is fast. Traquan is fast. He just can't catch word for nothing.
Yeah. That boy can't catch a cold.
No, he can't catch a cold, fam. Joy says we made one pick and y'all are tripping. Shame on y'all. Right. Y'all shouldn't even be called Saints fans. Y'all don't understand the draft. And Joy bringing some interesting conversation here to the team. Joy bringing it in. Joy said, hold on, family. How y'all calling yourselves the great Saints think tank and Saints members and family members, but y'all quitting on us, y'all lambasting the pick. Ruiz, I said this last night, and people were upset about it. We got a center. Ken Rosser, who that? Ken Rosser, Bloodstone. Good to see you, fam. People were pooing the pick of Caesar, but I said to myself, man, listen, this is obviously a move to kind of get rid of one or two things. It was Larry Warford, who they had rumors circulating around Warford to trade him. And of course, there's Teron Armstead. Both of those guys carry a heavy cap, a very heavy cap figure. So, and if they're looking at the youth movement, how could we be mad if the Saints are looking to improve the offensive line? And JT got on the phone last night and he spoke about it. He spoke to it. And JT said pretty much is that if you remember the Minnesota Vikings game, remember the game, fam, when the Vikings ultimately were able to basically invert the defensive line and put Everson Griffin and Danielle Hunter on the inside and were able to get pressure up the center of the offensive line against Drew Brees. Do you remember that? That was a great point by JT. He made a great point on that. And maybe the Saints are paying attention to that because of that pressure. Because Larry Warford didn't look really good in that game. And of course, the Saints don't see him as a future. It's a weird time to make the move. Don't get me wrong. Perhaps it's not. If you're facing the draft and you see a really good prospect that can start for you the next 5 or 10 years, that's going to come significantly cheaper, has a greater ceiling than Warford. The Saints got a lot out of Larry Warford. Warford wasn't a Pro Bowler before he came here, but he went on to get 2 Pro Bowl tickets punched to go to the Pro Bowl as a Saints offensive lineman. So
we can't really predict what we have until you see the action on the field. And our scouts always do a good job at seeing their talent before they draft them or before they trade for them or whatever they may do. So there's no worries with that, especially dealing with the Saints.
That's a point, Sway. Raheem 21, big up. He said Ruiz was a good pick, fam. I just wish we wouldn't have traded down a few picks so we could have get more picks. We didn't trade up. Now, what Ruiz would have been there, and the point was made about Badassi, who was actually some say the highest rated center, and then there was still Quisenberry there. Oh shit, I forgot the man name. Quisenberry, the center. I forgot to pronounce his name. From LSU, the center. He was still there. Now, of course, he wasn't rated high, but the Saints obviously felt like Ruiz was big, and we're not going to second guess Jeff Ireland here. But the truth is, if they can free up cap, perhaps the move is this is all hyperbole. This is just us heavily opinionating, but there are a realm of possibilities. It's not an infinite amount of possibilities. There are a few possibilities what could be done here. They either could trade him, and if he doesn't get traded between now and tomorrow for picks, they can release him, save the money, and perhaps use the money toward free agency to pick up an impact veteran. Did everybody actually factor that in their thinking before they get upset about the move. You know, you're making your line stronger going into the future. Now you have Andrus Peat locked into multiple years. You got McCoy there. You have Ruiz there. And now you have Ryan Ramczyk, who you signed. That's 4 young, talented offensive linemen there, and throw Terron Armstead in the mix. So, I mean, still in all, anytime you want to build the offensive line, that's fine. And they felt like that's the move they needed to protect the quarterback and run the ball. Did anybody watch film on Ruiz? I watched the film and tape on Ruiz, and one thing that stuck out to me is that the guy can run block. He really can. He gets going and he mauls you. And he nasty too. He got a temperament about him too on film. Like he mad at you that you just stand in front of him trying to do something. So I like the Ruiz pick because I can see what they're trying to do. One of the family members in the building says the pick don't make no sense. Let me give credit to who said that. Ace Brooks. Who that to you? Ace says it's not a good pick. It doesn't make any sense. We do not run the ball. Perhaps that's true, but maybe the Saints are really considering running the ball this year. How about that? You see what I'm saying? Now we got another call coming in. Hold on here, family. Let me see if I can open it up. Give me just a second here, Swade. We got another call here. All right, fam. I'll tell you what. That didn't work. Whatever that was, I was shooting at. It didn't work. It went. I was trying to click them on. It just clicked them off. All right, whoever just called, try to call back, and I try to get you back in there, family. I'll try to get you back in there. I try to click you on. It just clicked off. So yeah, it just got clicked off. So yeah, but you can get on. I got the other line. We got the lines opened up for whoever want to call 504-475-4482. That's something that.
Let them know, brother. The Sports Coma, man. We playing matters though. They can miss us with all that food, girl. We own it, well.
Hold on here, Swade. Let me see if I can get the line up here. Hold on here. For whatever reason, it's not working. I can't.
All right, well, family listening while you trying to get the call. I got a joke for the family.
Try again, fam. Try to call again. I'm gonna get you in there.
Hey, y'all, what do ducks smoke?
One more time, Swade.
They smoke quack.
What do ducks smoke?
Yeah.
They smoke crack. That's what ducks smoke.
They smoke quack, man.
Quack.
All right, back to the sports. Back to the thing.
What do ducks smoke? They smoke quack.
Why is that hilarious?
Where the hell that came from?
I don't know. It's entertaining while we're waiting on the phone call.
What's up, fam? Thank you for calling the Sports Coma I'm speaking with.
What up, Big Q? This KT from Baton Rouge. Hope y'all well, bro.
What's up, KT? How you doing, fam?
Bro, I'm on my 4th shot of Crown Royal.
Say, bro. Go ahead, KT. I hear you, bro. You want to vent? Go ahead and vent, KT.
I want to slap the coach. I want to slap the GM. I want to slap the scouts. I want to slap everybody except the cheerleaders and Miss Benson. Bruh, I'm mad. I'd have been happy with it trading back, like you suggested, getting Espinosa. You mentioned Jalen Hurts wasn't going to be there in the second round. Jordan Hurts was there, like I said, Q. It's like you going shopping with your parents. They got the money. The bills paid. The name brand items on sale. But let me get the multi-meal player. Let me get the bargain bin try-hard player that's going to be out the league by his time his rookie contract open.
Damn.
And they're going to reach for some little try-hard camp on guy because that's what Sean Payton was with his playing career. That's what they want because they don't want Drew to feel threatened. And I'm going to say this as well.
Drew Brees.
Fine didn't throw all them yards in North Texas. It was they ran an air raid system, and the receivers did a lot of run after the catch yards.
Yep.
So right now, I don't want Jameis. I don't want Cam. I want Taysom T-Bone gone. I'm okay with the offensive lineman pick, but this is what happens when you don't plan in the future and win now. What Loomis is doing with the cap situation is writing bad checks and none of them bounce. But when Drew retired, that damn money gonna come on the roof.
I can't tell you. I feel you, brother. I know you're upset, and man, I'm telling you,
That's how you really feel, T.
yeah. I'm saying the thing about it is I know a lot of people upset because I'm telling you it was a move because people saying, listen, you got Drew Brees. They saying for 1 year. Contractually speaking, I'm saying it might be more than that. I'm saying 2 years because of the fact that he's super competitive. I don't think he leaves the NFC South, leaving it to the hands of Tom Brady. Tom Brady has a 2-year contract, $50 million. Guess who has the same deal? Drew Brees has the same contract, $25 million, $50 million, a $50 million contract. Brady has it. Brady came into the NFC, not to mention and then more specifically to the South, to 2 head-to-head matchups with a guy he's chasing for the records. So that he could have went anywhere, but getting him here sets a whole different thing. Then you bring Gronk along with the Goodwin and Evans. That's a whole nother thing. Thank you, family, for joining the Sports Coma 100 Deuce, and who that hashtag who that. Thank you for joining the family. If you're not a subscriber, family, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, please, as we continue our conversation. We got.
Make sure you subscribe.
We got KT on the line, and KT pissed off, man. KT won't slap everybody except the cheerleaders and Mrs. Ben and Mrs. Benson. But KT, it's still a lot of draft left though, KT. They still have, it's a lot of people seeing it. They're looking at the name players. There's still quality players still left in the draft. We talked about this. If you need a wide receiver, I promise you there's going to be a good wide receiver in the middle of the 3rd round. If you need a good linebacker, there's going to be a linebacker there. If you need a defensive back, there are a few out there. Edge rushers, it gets a little prospect wise. It kind of gets, because you have guys that's going to need some work. They're not as polished as guys like AJ Espinoza or Gross Material or Gross Models or none of these guys.
Ample was a huge name in the draft. Remember that?
Yeah, that's true too. So
Don't by the name. Don't prove by the name.
It's the production. And a lot of people need to understand. I understand people upset because they feel we don't need a center. But if this guy can come in, he saves you money, he can play for you for the next 5 to 10 years, he's going to improve that line. And Warford did have issues running the ball and stuff like that. If they put that type of stuff don't exist with Ruiz. If you look at the footage, and of course he's moving up in level of play into the NFL, I expect that nasty nature to stay with him. And McCoy is just dominant. So I expect these guys to get better. Plus, he playing next to Ryan Ramczyk. That right side of that offensive line will be absolutely insane. But we have to remember too is that they have not done anything yet with Warford. There still could be a pick. Let's say tomorrow or in the 3rd round they make a move and get a 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick for Warford. Or if they don't get anything for Warford, they release him. They save money there. And then what if they didn't turn around later on and put that money toward acquiring a guy like Everson Griffin or somebody like that or somebody? There's still a lot of talented players that's in free agency that can help the Saints right now. If you need a linebacker, there's Nigel Bingham is out there. He's a fantastic linebacker. If you need cornerback help, is Logan Ryan's out there. You have 3 pass rushers that can help you. Clay Matthews, Marcus Golden, Everson Griffin, the list goes on. They got wide receiver prospects in the draft that we'll be able to get. Remember, we talked about this almost at nauseum, dealing with all of how deep the wide receiver position is, how deep the defensive back position is. The linebacker position, not so much. But if you can make a play in the 3rd round, which is what they did, remember the 3rd round picks are important too, because that's what you found. Elvin Kamara in the 3rd round. You find Alex Anzalone, despite his injury history, he is still productive when he's there. So we can still find a diamond in the rough in the gym. So family members, don't jump off the edge yet. Don't push the Saints into the water. Don't go and slap Sean Payton yet, because he just coming up off of that. You know what? And you don't want none of that on you. But only thing I can tell you is that we need to just we just need to stay a little bit more patient and wait for the plan to develop out. Is all I'm saying. I'm just giving you that little information that right there, KT, because I know you're frustrated. I know you don't like how the draft, and a lot of people feel the Saints should have made a right. You know, they should have made an opportunity to move up into the second round and make some plays. But the price was probably too steep for them to do it, and right now they're just sitting back and letting stuff happen to them in terms of the players come to them. So we're gonna see how it's gonna continue to roll, fam.
Remember, without a good offensive line, everything, the whole offense falls apart. It doesn't matter how good your running back is. It don't matter how good the receivers are. It don't matter what quarterback you have. He's gonna get knocked on his ass. You got to have a good offensive line. Now, one thing I respect about Peyton that he always kept it tight. He always kept one of the best offensive lines in the league. So with this addition right here, like he said, he felt that he needed that. You know, so let's watch what the professionals do and get out our February field.
Swade, your phone is kind of going in and out, my brother.
Oh, it might have a virus. I'm sorry.
It's going in and out. But I think, and I think KT, we lost KT. KT's no longer on the line. KT ain't on the line anymore. KT, you still with us? Nah, we must have lost him. But yeah, hold faith, KT. I know you're frustrated, my brother. Are you still in the stream there, KT? I don't know if his phone dropped out. His phone dropped out. We lost him. Darnell Trotter, who that T says Eric McCoy haven't played guard in years. Don't mean he can't learn, fam. If Andrews Pete can go and learn how to play it, I know that guy can play it. In years, he's been with the Saints. He just got drafted. What? He been in the league for a couple years now? Well, this is second year now, and he just got drafted last year. Prior to that, he played center, but he can play the guard position as well. So we gonna have to see how it goes, fam. Now, don't have too much dissenting. And I understand people questioning what the team is doing, and I'm questioning it too. But I'm looking at the numbers of the situation as well to make sense. Okay, let's keep going in the chat. Okay, you sound better, Swade. Your phone sound better. Debo says,
I'm gonna hold on to my bashing soon as September hit. Now, if them I'm gonna start sucking to my Spanish, then I'm gonna start bashing the draft. But right now, let's see how everything turn out.
Right, I agree with you. I think let's see how it works out, because you can't judge a draft based on one player. They still have 4 other picks left to make in the draft, and we're going to see what is something else can happen. So just be patient on it. Trey Joseph said 3rd round is where you make your money. Tyron W. That's what I'm saying. They are players out there. Hennessy Bastard says, where's my QB of the future? People looking for the QB. Can you find one in the 3rd round? Possibly. A lot of people think Taysom Hill is Swade says Taysom Hill is the QB of the future. So, Jermaine Scobie, who that says, I'm trying to stay patient, Big Q, but I don't see anything coming out of this. Jermaine, it's the 3rd round. It's just the 2nd round. The Saints still have 4 picks left. We got a pick in the middle of the 3rd, the next round, because the 2nd round's almost up. And then you have the 4th and 5th and 6th. So you have tomorrow, day 3, you have the 4th round pick, 5th round pick, and 6th round pick. You can still find talent with a 4th, a 5th, and a 6th. The Saints have specialized in doing that. So, we gotta we're going to be all right, family. Jalen Hurts is gone, but the Saints looked at other people besides Jalen Hurts, Wade. They looked at several other quarterback prospects that they like, including the little kid out of North Texas. Fine.
We specialize in finding good talent for a cheap price and riding them until their contract is up. We specialize in that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what we do. So trust, believe, man. Have the faith the size of a mustard seed.
There you go. We definitely need to be a little bit more patient, fam. Debo says, man, I don't see about the old line, man. Our defense is where we lost. The defense, if you look at the Saints' defensive line is strong. They are strong in a sense. You bring back Owen Yamada, Sheldon Rankins will be healthy. You also have Taylor Stalwarts that's there. You have Mario Edwards Jr. that's there.
Where's Davenport?
You have Davenport coming back off injury, so he should help out. You have Carl Granderson. You have Trey Hendrickson and all these guys. Well, I'm not too big on the edge rushers. The interior defensive line for the Saints is strong. The Saints have then added a key piece to build the offensive line. Perhaps a lot of people don't see it because they don't anticipate the Saints having a philosophy change and then incorporating the running more of the ball, running the ball. Sooner or later, it got to hit you. It got to hit you that you need to run the football. And, of course, remember the Saints did sign back a Dwayne Washington that can help in that capacity. Elvin Kamara, we'll see what they can do with it. You know, it's a lot of stuff that is going on here. 985 said we can build an O-line with undrafted free agents. I mean, talent is talent. If you have a guy like Ruiz that's high on your board, why in the hell would you go the undrafted route? There's no need to do that. If the guy is there and you believe in him, take him. That's what it is. So I remember
a lot of people were upset when we drafted Ramsey in the first round.
When he drafted who, Swade?
Ramsey, the offensive lineman, Ramsey.
Ramczyk.
Ron Ramczyk. They were upset when we drafted him in the first round, and look how that turned out. You know.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. What up, fam? Thank you for calling SportsCom. Who am I speaking?
What up, Big Q? This is KT. I'm sorry about that, bro. While you were talking, I ended up spilling Crown on my phone.
Your phone is all right. KT he calling me on it, so it's still working. It might be a little tipsy, but it's still working.
Hey, we both needed a drink, but yeah, I was watching on YouTube. I spilled a little Crown on it. It cut itself off, cut back on, and good to go. So I was listening to everything I was saying. I said,
all right.
I'd be good with Zach Mom. I would be good with, my boys, Lynn Bowden Jr.
Right.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
It's just they don't plan for the future. They plan. It's like you put all your stuff in one basket, and when you don't hit, you're just looking at super like, what do I do now? I'm like, okay, build for the future.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't mean to cut you off. The only reason our defense got so good because through and taking these team-friendly deals, we just started getting a better scouting department and build our defense through the draft. And I'm not so completely on Jeff Ireland because he had a chance to get Dez Bryant when he was still in his prime coming out of college and passed him up, kicking that man off, asking him was his mama a prostitute. I watched Jeff Ireland. I trust him, but I don't trust him that much.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, KT. I think a lot of the stuff with Ireland is he getting a level of respect and in New Orleans because of the swell job he's done. If it wasn't for Jeff Ireland's drafting of talent like Kamara and the rest of these guys, the Saints couldn't have been able to do half the stuff they're doing. I mean, man, I just got to give it to him. And he doesn't make he had a couple of flubs. I don't know if it was him or Sean Payton, but I remember it was the draft when they took Natrell Jamerson and the kid that got threw off the team in the Giants because he had a domestic dispute, took both of those guys. And those guys turned out to be workers or guys that actually helped. Well, one of them did, Natrell Jamerson did. But what it comes down to, family, is, it still hasn't finished yet. And I got Demi telling me, Demi says, Q, stop being an apologist for the genius. I'm not apologizing. Y'all know
I will apologize.
They talking about
I said that.
She said she thinking I'm being an apologist for Sean Payton. But that I am not apologizing for Sean Payton. Listen to what I'm saying, family, because I think y'all we missing each other here. We missing each other here. You know what I'm saying? We missing each other. I am not apologizing for Sean Payton. I'm not apologizing for nobody because I don't think no mistakes have been made here. I think Ruiz is a solid pick. I really think so. And if you look at it, why would they make such a decision? Warford is not in the long-term plans of the team. And if they're trying to flip him for a draft, if they can't flip him for a draft, they'll release him. They'll get money there, money they can use for something else. Whether that's bringing another free agency, a free veteran in to help on the defense, like I keep mentioning, edge rusher, linebacker, perhaps that. I'm not making excuses for Sean Payton because you know how I feel. I'll lambaste Sean Payton in a minute. I give him love, but I'll lay him out in a second.
You hit Sean Payton, I'm on him. I'm jumping in. I got your back.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm just want the family members to understand that we need to be patient. Telling us to be a little bit patient and wait for the draft to complete. It's still today and tomorrow. It's 3 picks left for tomorrow. Anything can happen. There could be trades. A lot of trades happen in the third day between teams. So we just have to. I'm saying be patient enough just to wait till the draft complete before you judge the draft as a whole. How are we judging the draft and it's incomplete? You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm putting.
I feel you, but if we draft Jacob Eason and y'all see me on the news, just pray for me.
Yeah, I hope not Eason. I hope not Eason. There are other quarterbacks out there that's interesting. The guy from Florida International is interesting. The guy from Washington State is even interesting. But Jacob Eason, to me, out of Washington State, is just not that guy. He's not that guy to me.
We forgot to mention that brother from Utah at QB.
Oh, Jordan Love?
Not Utah State.
Utah.
Yeah.
His name escapes me.
Trust me, you ain't the only one. And I feel you. My thing is this. We drafted him, and I'm not Ruiz is a dog. I watch some Big Ten football. Mm-hmm. He's good. He's a mauler. My thing is, if you signed him, why did you bring Pete back? And if you're talking about getting rid of Armstead and kicking Pete out the left tackle, Pete sucked at tackle. If Pete did what he was supposed to do playing tackle, we wouldn't have got Ramczyk.
My philosophy.
He's been decent at guard. I give the devil his due. He's been good to decent at worst, good to great at best.
But KT,
so you don't need to be a tackle.
But KT, this is the thing I'm gonna talk about Andrus Peat. Now everybody know I do defend Andrus Peat, and it's because of how the team did Andrus Peat. He didn't. If he was allowed to settle in at the tackle position and stayed there his whole career, like Ryan Ramczyk did, the guy would have he would have gotten exponentially better at his position. The fact that the guy had to move from left tackle to right tackle, did he play left guard, then right guard, and all of that movement, and I keep saying it, delayed his progress to a degree. Now, if you look at him, he was still able to make the Pro Bowl, and the guy came out of school as a tackle. He wasn't a guard. He never played guard before, but he became an alternate Pro Bowl guard, learning the position in the league. So I'm saying you've got to give somebody credit for that when they were always a tackle in college and one of the top tackles coming out of college that year. They changed his position from a tackle to the guard. He had to learn everything over. And then they didn't let him stay at the guard position. They kept moving him around. When he got really used to playing right, they moved him left. When he got used to playing left, Teron Armstead got hurt. He put him at left tackle. Nobody's been done that. Ryan Ramczyk basically plugged at that right tackle, and he been playing that one position since he been in the Saints uniform. And he developed into an excellent offensive lineman because he had the stability to stay and play one position for the entire duration of his young career. That's why I step in to defend Andrus Peat, because people forget that. If you leave Andrus Peat alone and let him play one position, he can get really good at the position. He's still very young. So I'm saying he ain't the best in the world, but I'm saying think about what I'm saying in terms of how his development was. It wasn't fair what he did, but he still excelled. He still made 2 Pro Bowls at a position that he didn't learn until he got into the league.
Okay, I feel you, Q. Now, can I make a little counter argument?
Sure you can, bro.
All right, I appreciate this, man. Big fan of the show. Hey, quick question. Mm-hmm. Remember Haole Kikaha?
Yes, I do.
Remember remember when you call him a try-hard guy? I mean, the injuries and all that. But
high motor guy,
he didn't have that amazing first step. Mm-hmm. He gave Andrus Peat fits in college as a tackle. Pete, if you're dealing with a bull rush defensive tackle, every tackle has the weakness. I give you that. If we'd have kept Pete on tackle, most of our division has speed rushers. That's why they kicked the man inside. He has been adapting, and I give you credit for it. But, yeah, I wouldn't have paid that much for him.
I think it was a situation, bro, where they didn't have any other upgrades, and the guy was sitting there. They weren't looking at the draft, And Andrus Peat was a guy they knew that plays multiple positions. You can move him around on the line. And that versatility has a price. A lot of people saying Andrus Peat got beat in the Minnesota Viking game. He got beat different times in the season. Got beat by Aaron Donald. Everybody gets beat by Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald. I mean, Aaron Donald's is elite pass rusher.
I don't blame the Vikings game on Pete because that man was coming off a broken arm. That's the one time I gave him look, he broke his arm. Get that man a break, y'all.
Yeah, I mean,
he was just coming back.
A broken arm,
yeah.
KT, and also don't forget the hand. Remember, he had a busted hand and still played in the playoffs against the Philadelphia Eagles with a busted hand. But I don't hear nobody giving him credit on that. It's like we can't automatically just throw a bunch of shit at people and say, well, you know what I'm saying? We got to look at the whole summation of it. You know, or we'll be some half-ass judges here. Well, we ain't supposed to judge nobody, but if you making an analogy on something, you got to bring the entire summation of everything that you have and look at it from different perspectives, right? Good and bad. You can't just point out all the bad things he do and conveniently ignore the good things he do. Like that takes heart to play with a broken arm or a busted hand. You know what I'm saying? Some guys would just sit out. That takes heart. Can he get some love for that? But yet still, after all that, he still made Pro Bowls, multiple Pro Bowls. He still earned a big contract, and he's back on the team, and people still saying he garbage. I guess we're going to see.
Okay, I ain't going to call him garbage.
That's what it is.
I ain't going to call him hot garbage, but at times he play like a Lil Yachty mixtape. He play like Lil Yachty mixtape garbage at times. I ain't going to call him hot garbage. I'm going to call him Lil Yachty mixtape garbage at times.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead, KT.
I get a man his respect at times because run blocking, I've seen him in a couple games when that light went on. I thought I was watching Carl Nicks because he was just bullying and taking the defensive lineman and pushing them back to the safety. Other games, I'm like, dude, you soft, not Jimmy Graham soft, but you pushing it. And yeah, I call Jimmy Graham soft.
He is soft.
I've been calling that boy
softer than 2 ply toilet paper in a hot bubble bath listening to Drake. That's how soft that dude is.
Go ahead, Sweet. I like I said, man, we just gonna have to wait and see, man. Pete continue to show what people keep saying. Pete's not this. He making Pro Bowls. I mean, you know, he's making, and people saying, oh, he's soft. He's soft. He's soft. He's a soft player that's making Pro Bowls. He just earned a big fat contract with the Saints. He played 4 positions, earned his way. I mean, nobody got done that. Playing through injuries, a soft ass player wouldn't play through a busted arm or a broken hand. He would sit out and say, I'm not doing this. I'm hurting. My knee hurt.
I don't know about that.
I'm saying, bro, come.
Stitches in the Super Bowl. He was crying about the stitches.
He never complained, though, KT. He never complained. Pete never complained. He just took it and kept it moving. But go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, wait. Yeah.
All right, so I'm looking at Andrus Peat. He was drafted in, 2015, right? 2015 at number 13. Before him was Ty Gurley, all right, who's kind of on the way down. You have Amari Cooper, okay, Marcus Mariota at 2, and then Jameis Winston at 1. And they decided to go for Andrus Peat, a tackle, at number 13. And they were upset because no one knew who Andrus Peat was, and they felt it wasn't a good draft, a good pick. And Marcus, it fared out fine. It was a pretty good damn pick. He's a damn good tackle, you know. And he, like you said, he played with a broken arm. He shows heart. That shows a lot right there, pretty much. If you can play with heart and you can play with some kind of confidence, man, you make an awesome teammate. He's not a locker room problem. Andrus Peat he's pretty decent. He's not Jimmy Graham soft like you said, but he's pretty decent, man. He's Pro Bowler. Get Peter.
Well,
I give him his props. Anytime Q talked me off the ledge when we gave me extension, I'd admit it, I was wrong. But there's certain times, like I said, I want to go to New Orleans. Hey, I go down there for my VA appointments anyway and just slap everybody on the staff, except cheerleaders and Mrs. Benson and the live St. Bernard mascot we have if he's still alive.
I think they still got that St. Bernard. They use Sir Saint and the St. Bernard. I think they still use them.
But yeah, like
Bingo?
Gumbo.
Gumbo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stupid ass. Who thought of that shit?
My thing is, and you and Sway can answer this. After he hit on it with the Pierre Thomas, Kyrie Robinson, Chris Ivory, these undrafted rookie free agents, I think Sean Payton became a little bit too dependent on it. And like, you repairing your house, but you don't have the money to go deep and make a full repair, so you just jerry-rigging here, jerry-rigging there, duct taping here. I think he had got a little bit too dependent on it. I think he's slowly starting to go back to it. Ireland and Loomis have talked about it at certain times, but it seemed like he's still reaching for that well.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all thoughts on that?
I do remember when Sean Payton first got here, he went and got Jeremy Shockey, and he went and got what's the safety that went to jail? Your boy, 42.
Brandon Brown or Sharper.
Right, he went and got Sharper. He went and got McKenzie. He went and got some big names. You're not lying. He did, and I think they learned through time as far as to control the business side, as far as the bank. So it was important to scout talent that be a good addition to the team and save money at the same time. And they have grown just to be remarkable at that. And that's just that's just how I feel about it. So I'm not complaining about it. I do feel they can go and get some big names. They did try to go get I think it's a big name, get one from Dallas, and they did give a good look at what's the old nigga from the Denver safety. Oh shit, Hall of Famer now. But they waved off of that, and they just became remarkable at just getting young talent and paying a cheap price.
Hall of Famer for Denver. Huh? You talking about Willie Brown? Because I remember he was an undrafted rookie free agent.
You talking about Willie Brown? Sweet.
No, for the safety.
You said what's his name?
The safety, no man, the old dude from Denver, man. Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey. Oh yeah.
Champ Bailey.
Yeah, Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey. So
but we got a lot of those guys, to be honest with you, past their primes. Champ Bailey, Dale Carter. Dale Carter, we picked him up. Champ Bailey, Brandon Browner.
To receive Michael Haynes.
Michael Haynes, yeah. I mean, they had a bad habit because they were really bargain shopping then, and picking up guys hoping that they could peak. Like, they did a good job, and it worked every now and again. Like, they found a guy like Joe Horn. Joe Horn was basically a kick returner, and he was a part-time wide receiver. He wasn't starting with Kansas City. The Saints, seeing that his talent, brought Joe Horn here, and he just became Hollywood Horn down here. But a lot of those plays was too much.
He asking about Sean Payton's era. Do you feel he's become a little bitch now, just not going for the big names?
No, I'm not. I don't think it's the fact that he's avoiding going after the big name players. I just think there's a certain type of people he feels fits in the team, and he could be right or wrong. A lot of the stuff, like and my thing is, it's about, can the guy get the job done? And if you got a guy like I keep going back to this player, Everson Griffin. If Griffin is proven to be a guy that makes things happen, he's been a pain in the ass against the Saints all the time. So I mean, why, if you like pillaging, and Sean Payton does have the habit of telling Mickey Loomis when it's time to get players who they beat or who they took care of business against or came in and showed off against the Saints in the next year when they were free agents, Sean Payton brought them on the team. Like Latavius Murray showed out, he ended up becoming a Saint. Everson Griffin to me should so Everson Griffin should be the case. Now if you looking at their cap figure, they don't have a lot of money. So if they looking to make a move and bring some people in, of course they got to still have at least a couple million to be able to sign their draft picks, and they also have to make sure they have back end money to be able to sign undrafted talent and bring in guys like some of the remaining free agents out there who, remember, we can get some of those remaining free agents out there as the value continues to drop. The money don't go up for those free agents still left out there. You have the draft, and the people will fill whatever needs they have through the draft very cheaply. And then you'll get a veteran with a prove-it deal, 1 or 2 year prove-it deal on your team. So, I mean, this could be a scenario that we're looking to do. But like I said, I'm still waiting to see exactly what the plan shapes out for the Saints, Mickey Loomis, Sean Payton, and Jeff Ireland, because Caesar, because Caesar is a damn good center. If you look at his film, you can see he's really good at run block. He can pass block as well. He's a balanced center prospect, but he has an attitude. He needs a little help with his fundamentals. But the dude is very talented. Now, getting rid of that money is another thing. We just got to see how it's shaped. The Warford thing, what happens with Warford is big.
Yeah. Caesar, you know who he remind me of on the slick?
I know that Chevion,
He's not that big, but he remind me of Carl Next.
Correct?
Hold on, y'all both talking at the same time. Swede, you said what now?
Well, I know Clowney is still available on the edge, right? The defensive end.
Clowney is still available, yes.
Okay, so that can be an idea for the Saints to go and draft, pick him up.
Problem with that, Swede, is that the money. He wants a lot of money, and he dropped his rate from 20 to I think between 15 and 18 million right now. The Saints are not going to pay him that kind of money right now.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They yeah, okay. Yeah.
Go ahead, KT.
I was saying, I've watched Cesar Ruiz, like we talked about Espinosa when this team was getting blown out, didn't quit. I watched that Michigan-Ohio State game from last season. He was one of the ones that was still handling his business, dropping his, and be like, come on, what's that? And we getting blown out, but I'm still playing. He remind me of Carl Nix because he got that nasty Mauler attitude, but he that type of guy, if he on your team, you love him. If you play against him, you hate him, but you're going to respect that man's mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right, team player.
That's true, KT. I mean, we just like I said, when it comes down to who that to you, Chad. I see Irvin Alexander in the building as well. Kelvin Washington, big ups to your family. Raul Thomas says, y'all know our old line stay hurt. That's another reason it's smart to take Ruiz because somebody always hurt on the line. And AK, Lat, and Ram Marcus all about to get paid soon. So that's an interesting comment too, Raul. Thank you for throwing that in there. But we're gonna have to see how it's shaped though, KT. But I know you're not a fan of the first round pick getting offensive lineman. Right there, you probably say, well, we could have waited a little later to draft it and get more of a pressing need. I get that. I understand that. But we'll just have to see how the rest of the draft shake out.
Okay, a center is not a pressing need.
Yeah. Definitely do that.
It's a pressing need, though. Swade saying he said he don't see it. You saying you don't see it as a pressing need, Swade, for the center position?
Nope. I thought you said maybe they drafted that it wasn't a pressing need. Right. In terms of what I'm saying about they did have War for Death for another year. They didn't have to make this move right now. They could have let him play out his contract and ultimately did something else with that pick. That's why a lot of people upset say, why make this move right now? Why didn't they make this move earlier or a little later? Because you still got him under contract. But the Saints feel like they want to make the move now. And only sense I could see out of it is them getting that money, freeing up that money for something. Then they get the guy in the future. He's a cheaper offensive lineman that can help with a higher ceiling. But the money is the thing. Let's focus not so much on the player, but them getting rid of Warford behind the money. And that's all I can see what you looking at. If it don't make sense, I always say if it don't make sense, look at the money. Yeah, and they're good at rearranging.
That's going to lead you where you want to go.
Mm-hmm. Always the time. It's always it goes that always the way. Follow the money. Look at the money. All right, KT, you got anything else, fam? They got a few more members getting ready to chime in, fam.
Oh, yeah, I'm just going to say this. I want everybody to be safe, blessed, good health, Louisiana strong, and like I said, Q, if we draft Jacob Eason, y'all just take up a GoFundMe for my bail money, please.
Don't hurt him, KT. Don't hurt him, brother.
All right, y'all be blessed.
You too, my friend. Peace out. Who that to you?
All right. Who that?
All right, that was KT, man, calling in. Big ups to KT. Appreciate you. KT upset, man. Don't make KT mad. You
don't like him when you're angry.
All right. Oh no, you ain't gonna like me when I'm mad.
This look kind of fine now. Sorry, no disrespect. Go ahead.
Abraham Austin, who that to you? I see Abraham. Let's see who. We had another caller. Okay, live line is open, family. Whoever won't get the call in. Appreciate KT for chiming in. Let's see here. Who was next on here? Somebody said it was trying to call to get in, but they couldn't get in. All right, family live. 985 live. Okay, 985 live. There you go. It got to be 985 live right there. All right, family. Thank you for calling Sports Coma. Who I'm speaking with?
Yo, you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. All right, man. This is Debo, bro. I've been holding it. Man, look, hold on.
Debo, hold on, Debo. Your hands got tired, bro. Your hands got tired of trying to hit that
I'm not
message.
looking at the TV no more. We bragging on the Ravens and the Cowboys. We bragging on everybody drafted out. I've been a Saint. Look, I'm on the 27th, so I ain't been no Saints fan since the 80s and stuff. But I remember them Aaron Brooks years and all of that. So I remember the bad days.
Okay.
So my problem is this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We had opportunities to trade up and get wide receivers, which is a big need. Emmanuel Sanders, we just got dude for 2 years. He's 33 years old. He's better than Ted Ginn, but what is, you don't have no move room. Like, if you're trying to win now, you need to draft for the weakest position, which is linebacker. Alex Anzalone is always hurt by the same injury every year. The guy, what his name is, Kellis, he was hurt all year since preseason. Yeah. Kiko, he was hurt all season. When he coming back? He just had an ACL in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time for he get on.
So we're gonna have we're gonna have Mario Davis play 3 different positions at one time, or 2 different. We're gonna put a safety. We're gonna put Malcolm Jenkins at linebacker. What we gonna do?
I see what I feel you, Debo. I'm still saying at the same. Well, you're saying the Saints should have used that first round draft pick to address that position.
Bro, had to. It's too many people. It's too many players, premium players at that spot that we had it. They fell to us. We didn't have to draft up. We could have actually drafted. I would have rather us drafted, trade back, got more picks, and then got Ruiz in the second round because nobody was gonna. They said Seattle was going to try to take him, so that's probably the only team I really could see trying to take him. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's a wasted pick. It put us in the corner. Now, we got to draft up. Now, we didn't draft up. Now, what we going to do? We're going to rely on undrafted free agents like every single year? Kirkwood, I'm tired of hearing about Kirkwood, Carl. Like, all these players, and people talk about Carl Nixon and all that. Bro, that's back in the day, man. We not doing that no more. Like, that was back in the day when we won the Super Bowl. We not on point like that no more. You're going to get an Alvin Kamara and a Mike Thomas every once in a year. It's not happening like that right now. And you see all the rest of the playoff teams are getting way better. Look at the 49ers. They're getting every position they need. Mm-hmm. If you look on their weakest position, they lost, what's his name? Emmanuel Sanders. They drafted a wide receiver as soon as they lost him. Plug and play. Yep. They're going to start that bar from day one. Yep. We can't. Are we going to start Ruiz? We're not even having no spring OT. We're not having no training, nothing. So what we going to wait till? And Warford played better than Pete. So what we going?
That's great. That's great comments right there, Debo. I can't make a case against it. I'm just saying I'm not that terribly upset at the player. Now you're right. They could have waited. They could have waited to address the center position. It wasn't a pressing need position like you saying about the linebacker position or anything else. I agree with you on that, Debo. That's valid points, bro.
And what we got beat by in the playoffs, tight ends. Tight ends killed us all the end of the season, dude.
Yep.
Wide receivers we didn't get beat that bad on cornerback. They held their ground. Actually, P.J. Williams started turning up at the end of the season, even though he garbage 50% of the time. Tight end was beating us because the Mario Davis can't cover every damn body, bro. It's impossible for him. And I felt bad for Demario Davis because he had to overwork. If you ever noticed, he had to play 100 times more harder than anybody else on the team because he had to fix up things that the D-line not doing. He had to hurry up, rush up the middle, go sideline to sideline. These other linebackers, they just look. AJ Klein, he looked like he was lost half the whole season. Am I lying? Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, there's moments, but yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You put too much on Demario Davis' back. Now you got an opportunity to get an athletic linebacker. I'm so tired of us having these slow-ass linebackers that can't do nothing. It's getting old, bro.
Yeah.
And Sean Payton is just cool with this. Like I said, I want the Kool-Aid he's sipping because I guess some Saints fans, any Saints fan that gets mad about a pick or something Loomis or Sean Payton did, you can't get mad. You have to be real. If a real Saints fan gonna call it out, call it how you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up.
Yeah, I mean,
just want this team. They're wasting years of Drew Brees' career, bro. I mean, if he's not here next year, who are we gonna put? Taysom Hill is not the future. He a dog. He's not the future quarterback, bro. Not happening. Don't nobody want him to start. He still did not sign the tender because he thinks he could be a starter. It's not happening for him.
Yep.
Man, I mean, what did you want the Saints to go into the draft and get? Like you personally.
I'm pushing. Well, originally, if I was, like I said, I wanted a pass rusher, you know, and I was pushing for an edge rusher because we don't sack the quarterback enough. We're not putting enough pressure on the quarterbacks.
Did you see that Falcons game when we blitzed 20 times and didn't get not one sack?
That's what I'm saying. They people misinterpret it because pressures and sacks. Well, I want sacks. I don't want pressures. I want sacks. Destroy the game for the offense. It causes fumbles. It just gives a tremendous energy, momentum shift for your team.
Right.
When your team's getting sacks, everybody get involved.
Right.
The Saints are not. Right. They're not an elite sacking team.
Have never been an elite sacking team.
And that's the problem.
We've always been ever. And I think they used to just not mediocre, but being around the 15 to 10 range of ranked defenses. And I feel like. Look what you said. The Ravens picked Patrick Queen. You know that boy gonna go off this year.
Yep.
Look, it's gonna be like Deion Jones, right? For the Falcons, the boy gonna ball out. Yep. We could have had that on our team. Look what we got now. Alonzo.
I mean,
come on, man.
At one point, you gotta look at it like I guess like scales, like you hold the scales one up versus, and we looking at everything else, and you can't help but to look at the 49ers what they did. They hit home runs. They had talent. They had talent everywhere. They got the big defensive lineman Kinlaw, the plug in where they lost Buckner. They put Kinlaw there. And he could be that guy's going to turn out to be better than Buckner. They just read up. That's your main competition. Not to mention Minnesota, who we can't beat in the playoffs. They added Jefferson. They added Jefferson.
And what all of these top teams are doing.
Philly added talent.
Weakest need. They're getting their biggest need. What we got a center like. Okay, now I have some things. I heard about what you said about Pete. Now I've had some confidence in Pete over the years. I mean, I can say he's decent to above average. Pro Bowl is a stretch. I think he's been getting Pro Bowls because he's eating off of the gravy train. Armstead is a dog. Ramczyk is a dog. Wolford, I mean, he does what he does. He's the consistent player. And McCoy, right? All right. Every time I see somebody getting penalized, who's getting penalized? Be 100, bro. Be honest. Who's getting penalized?
Pete gets penalties. So does Wolford. But yeah, you're right. Pete gets his shares of penalties.
But I see Pete getting pushed back up into Drew Brees' face, dude. I'm like, you 7'10", 900 pounds, and you getting pushed around like you Alvin Kamara. I could have put Alvin Kamara and gone, he would have did better there at some time. But come on, man. I mean, and I feel like he shouldn't have got that big contract. I don't know what it is, the market value of why he got that big contract like that. But I feel like, what's the point of you re-signed Pete, you drafted McCoy. I mean, I'm guessing McCoy is going to take Wolford's spot because they drafted a center. Ruiz has only started 5 games his entire career as a guard. So the rest of the year, and that was his freshman year. I don't know if people know that, but now y'all know. So, I mean, do you think wasting that first pick is worth the money? Do you think it's worth the money?
Depends on what you do with it, though. That's the issue, Debo. You know, it's hard to tabulate that, bro, because if you're taking the money that you save from trading or simply getting rid of Larry Warford, that might shift towards you addressing the linebacker position with a guy like Nigel Bradham. You know, he could come in here, he could play the run as well as pass, and you could probably get him for a cheap rate too to come in and he on a 1 year prove-it deal. And you know what happens when we get players like that on the team? They find out how fun it is to play with the Saints, and they ultimately end up sticking around. So, like I said, it's kind of to keep it real with you. Like you said, keep it a buck. That's all I could do is just keep it real and tell you that if it depends on what they do with the Warford situation. It's still incomplete yet. That's what I'm saying. It's like trying to eat a cake and it ain't done yet. It's trying to eat the gumbo and it's trying to eat chicken and it's still partially raw. It got blood in it.
So I want to know this from your personal, because I know you watch every game, probably like real strong and watch every aspect. From the 2 seasons, from our last probably 2 seasons, do you feel like we dropped off any? I feel like in 18 we gassed out after the Cowboy game. So I feel like 19 we were a better team. But I feel like in some aspects we got worse. I feel like Tre'Quan Smith is a big black dot on our offense, and we tried to force him the ball, but he's not consistent enough. He drops the ball. He's not ever, he's not always, he doesn't get space. Why do we have a slot receiver that can't get space and drops the ball? And this is his, 4th year? Why?
Tre'Quan Smith, to me, Debo, is I think a lot of that is tied to Sean Payton. I don't think he's a slot man. I mean, he's not a slot wide receiver. He's playing him out of position. They're trying to get him to learn the slot position, but that's not his thing. Order to play in the slot, people got to understand it's not like you playing the outside position where you the speed guy, which is pretty much what he did at Central Florida, where he just get, he just hit it and go and to catch the deep ball. He'll take a slant every now and again inside, stuff like that. If you watch the footage on him, he has success at that level doing that. That's not his game plan, the slot. It take a certain mindset player to play in that slot because you're going to get your ass handed to you. And Tre'Quan Smith is not that dude. That is not what he does.
He's scared to catch the ball, bro.
That's what I'm saying, though, Debo. You got to have heart to play the slot because the man lurking, the boy lurking around in there. And you more than likely, if you catch the ball, he's somewhere close to you and you around in his house and you ain't supposed to be there. So it take a certain type of wide receiver to play the slot position. Tre'Quan Smith is not a slot receiver. I've been saying that for a while.
Why he's still on a team? Like, because we just didn't cut our losses.
Because the thing is that I got to put a lot of that on Sean Payton. The fact that he hasn't developed into a quality wide receiver based on his collegiate film. When they look at Tre'Quan Smith collegiate film and you look at his tape and then look at the Saints, like who is this guy?
He looks like two different players.
It's 2 different players altogether, bro. Because
he's the offensive Eli Apple.
His inconsistency is attributed to the fact that he's not getting the snappage. He's not playing consistently, and Sean Payton really screwed him last year when he kept Ted Ginn Jr. starting over the top of him. Ted Ginn Jr. and Tre'Quan Smith play the same position. You should have benched.
Ted Ginn played one route the whole season.
You should have benched him. And 24 catches on a full season.
That's all he had. That's all Ted Ginn had.
Like 24 or 27 catches the entire year is what he had. He had less receptions.
Ted Ginn or Tre'Quan?
Ted Ginn Jr.
Do you know how many times I've seen?
He played in all games now.
So he played all the games.
Yes, he did. Ted Ginn Jr. played in every game last year. Because I was laying him out during the season about that.
Ted Ginn the ball twice as much as he threw to Mike Tomlin, and I know you've seen that.
Bro, only thing I can tell you is that the thing that really hurt Ted Ginn is that he could have came back on some of those balls. He really could. He should have adjusted to come back. Some of them he couldn't get back, but he could have really helped his quarterback. He could have helped it. Right. He kept running. You see the ball coming short, work your way back to it. You know what I'm saying? You play practice with Drew. You know what Drew's deep ball limitations are. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Do a breakdown,
I do agree with Tre'Quan
Hold on for a second, Debo. Hold on, Debo, for a second. Sway, go. What you were saying?
No, I was agreeing as far as Tre'Quan Smith not being a slot receiver. A slot receiver is like a Julian Edelman or Cooper Kupp or even Juju Schuster. You know what I'm saying? Before he went to the number 1 spot. So I mean, those are slot receivers. I would not compare him to those dudes at all. You know what I'm saying? So I think you're right, bro. He belongs in that Ted Ginn slot, bro. Ted Ginn just wasn't making it happen. And I believed in Ted Ginn, dude. I thought this dude was fast, man.
Ted Ginn ain't been that since the Rams game, bro. Like, he got that lucky one pass.
Yeah.
Other than that, Ted Ginn ain't really did nothing. Ted Ginn never did nothing to me since Ohio State. I mean, the thing about Ted Ginn is he's super fast, but he gives up on the ball a lot. And he's not good at the point, at the point of catching the ball. His hand-eye coordination never been there like that. Look at Mike Thomas. You could throw Mike Thomas the ball to his ankle, and he's going to pull that thing up some type of way. Ted Ginn can't catch the ball past his face mask, bro. It got to be out in front of his chest. No other place, else he's dropping. And I feel like Drew is getting, because he doesn't have enough weapons. Like, people could say Mike Thomas, Alvin Kamara. Okay, when Mike Thomas is getting locked up in the playoffs, which is going to happen because they know we're going to throw the ball to him 99.9% of the time, Cook going to get locked up because all you got to do is get a good linebacker with cover skills and keep him, going side to side, or you going over the top. There's really not much with Cook. He's mainly going over the top. He's not going no slants. And Kamara, I mean, it's been the same thing. Like, that's why I said, Emmanuel Sanders, I know he's going to be better than Ted Ginn. But it's like we need something extra, dude, like an extra tight end or a slot wide receiver. Else this offense is going to get stagnant around playoff time.
You make some valid points, though, Debo. And I agree with you with a lot of what you're saying. I just feel like well, let's add in our thought process is the fact that with these additions and the mindset of the Saints have to definitely change the mindset moving forward. You posed the question about us in terms of the team losing something in the playoffs or whatnot. I think the problem with the Saints in the playoffs is not so much. Go ahead. It's not. It's not so much of. I gotta say it though, Swede. I gotta say the issue is in the playoffs is the fact that the Saints are not prepared to come in and play in the playoffs. To be honest with you. You look at
the regular season football in the playoffs. That's why we always lose.
The thing is, you can't play regular season football in the playoffs, obviously, because the level of competition, preparation, everything is elevated. It's elevated greatly.
We play down. It's like them LSU games against Alabama. You play down in your competition, and then they click that next gear. But we don't have that next gear in the playoffs because we think Drew gonna get us out of everything, and the defense is gonna bend but break. Don't break, but that stuff don't work against the 49ers. Against the 49ers, when we had that shootout, I knew even if we beat them, we was gonna lose to them in the playoffs because they had more defensive playmakers. We don't have any playmakers besides Lattimore. Lattimore, he a dog, but he, like they say, he has to play a Pro Bowl wide receiver. You got to be somebody of stature for him to even come out and play up to his cachet. And then who else? Malcolm Jenkins, he's gonna do what he do. We don't really have playmakers as far as besides the Mario Davis, Lattimore, and Jenkins. Other than that, Cam Jordan gonna do his 1, 2, 3. Everybody else is just there to play. I don't know, bro. I hope Sean Payton and them could do something. Bro.
Debo, you gotta look at it though, bro. In the regular season, the Saints were able to. The first 3 years ago, they won 11. The last 2 years, they went 13 apiece. Going 13. That's 26 games in 2 years that they were able to put together. That's because of the fact that they were focused and they did what they needed to do. When the playoffs start, this is over the last 3 years, and we're just gonna stay current years. The Saints hurt themselves in the playoffs due to turnovers. And that's the problem. The miscues, the turnovers, and like the Minnesota game last year with the Saints. Look at the game. The Saints didn't arrive in the game. It was almost a similar performance, not as horrible as the Atlanta Falcons game. They sleepwalked into the game, and including the coach. And usually when stuff like that happens, a lot of people can blame the players and they share a portion of the blame, but you got to lay it on the head coach. The head coach got to have the team prepared to play in the playoffs. He got to make them understand, understand, and overstand that the factor of the game is that we can't make mistakes to beat ourselves, and we must execute. Each individual player must execute.
And we don't make adjustments. Okay, so if they were getting bull rushed up the middle and we getting beat, why we can't fix it?
That's the thing that I just didn't understand that one. I didn't understand exactly why they didn't make the adjustment to deal with that. You know,
that's the Kool-Aid. That's the Kool-Aid. He thinks Drew gonna get him out of everything, bro. Drew was about 400,000 BC, and it's not happening like it was in 11, 09, 13. It's not happening like that no more, bro. It's like you gotta make changes with the program. All these other teams, if you notice, all of these teams are built from the inside out. They all tough from the defensive line to the back end of the defense. Jimmy G is not the best quarterback in the NFL, but that boy's going to win some games. If they play as a team, bro. You said it right. You said it right. We wasn't ready for the playoffs, bro. I feel like we should have even went to the playoffs the way we played. I think the Packers would have bust our ass. And I thought the Packers were the weakest team they were. Well, after us. Because the Packers actually were better than us in the playoffs, which is sad because the Packers is garbage.
That's what it comes down to, like in the playoffs. You understand in the failures. And why would I then think going into this upcoming season that it would be a different result than what has been over the last 3 years?
It's the same team.
That's right. You got to learn from your mistakes. And it gets to a point where the Saints have to learn from the mistakes and improve. And I think that's at that point. And what you said, well, Q, what forces you to have that mentality after they've been suffering the last 3 years? The finality of the moment that Drew Brees' time with the Saints is near. You pretty much squandered his really prime years not building a competent defense to get after the quarterback. So a lot of this stuff is tied now with Drew Brees because Drew Brees has played the savior role for the Saints for so long. They can't help but to fall in line with it. But the issue is, like it was supposed to be over the last 2 years, you were supposed to give a 40-year or a late 30 to 40-year-old quarterback a running game to spare his arm. Sean Payton.
Come on, bro. Murray was the heart, bro. Kamara was hurt. We knew it from jump. Murray was going off 130, 135, 140, 150. And you're going to not give him the ball? You're going to give him the ball every 2-3 times. And you know when you give Latavius Murray the ball 4 times, he's going to get hit every time he gets the ball. The line wasn't even pushing nobody back. He's getting hit back. Like if you watch the Tennessee game, Murray couldn't get nothing.
Okay, the Saints just leaped, man. They just traded up to the 74th spot here. The Saints just made a trade.
74th spot.
They moved from 88. They moved from.
Gonna waste picks.
They moved up. They moved up from 88 to 74. They traded with the Buffalo Bills to move up.
Oh my God!
You know what? If y'all don't mind me saying this right here,
go ahead, Sway.
So the Saints are notorious for losing the run game in every playoff, even going back to Peyton's first year in 2006, where he refused to give Bruce McAllister the ball against the Bears. So it's something he hasn't learned from his mistakes. And the running game has always been good all 3 years until it gets to the playoffs, and he backs up off that bitch. I don't know why that's his game plan. I don't know why he hasn't deteriorated or deterred from that, but that's just what it is. So he can hope and pray. And this year, when we do make it to the playoffs, that he decides to run the ball, but we just known for that. And it's sad, but that's what it is.
Well, that's an interesting piece of information, to be honest with you, bro, because remember, think about it like this. Remember what happened when Drew was out and they dealt with Teddy Bridgewater. The Saints were balanced. Sean Payton was engaged because he could not allow that complacency that he have with Drew Brees because of that long relationship where he could just let Drew have it. He didn't do that with Teddy Bridgewater. The whole routine was disturbed. He had to then come up with plays and actually work to build Teddy's strength into the offense. And what did that do? It ultimately meant that the Saints, when they were balanced running the ball, and this was in a period of time when you didn't have Alvin Kamara as well. And the Saints were still able to go undefeated without 2 of their best players. So what that tells you is that when done correctly, the Saints offense can be a juggernaut. We're saying the fundamental things. Run the ball and balance the pass off the run. You mentioned the San Francisco 49ers. I talked about this on the day one stream of the Saints draft yesterday. Was the fact that the 49ers are sticking true to who they are. They're a team that they're winning games because of the defense and the running game. That's old school football. They once again took a draft pick in the first round and drafted another defensive lineman. That's like 4 years in a row that they've taken a defensive lineman in the first round. They know where their bread's buttered. And some of these things, if it's a copycat league, and the San Francisco 49ers have then added more talent to our areas where they were deficient at with the wide receiver core. They added some talent offensively. They're going to get some help on the O-line. The defense is building up. They were able to score with you last year and put up big numbers, and ultimately were able to win the game because of the failures of the Saints defense and Marcus Williams in particular, and throw Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in there for taking that dumbass angle. But this is the thing though. That's what I've been saying. You got to have, sooner or later, everybody know the Saints can throw the ball. That's what they do.
The pick is in.
No, we got a pick.
Okay, it's in.
We got the pick.
We're going to see right here. They moved up. The Saints moved up to get somebody.
They got a kicker.
They better get a line.
That's what he say. We got a kicker.
Zach Bond.
It's gonna be Zach Bond. It got to be Zach Bond because he the top guy sitting there.
Was he good? Was he any good?
Yes, Zach Bond is a solid pick. If that's the pick,
is he a starter? Is he a starter for us?
Yeah, that's a good. That will help you. You just was saying, Debo. You was just saying that we need help at the linebacker position. Sean Payton.
I wanted Patrick Queen, bro. I'm sorry. I want a Queen.
Zach Bond is he was rated. But we had Ken Norton and Pat Queen and those guys. Bond was up there. He is a very talented and productive linebacker out of Wisconsin. He could help. This is a good move by the Saints.
You can help, bro. If you go in the gym and they put you at linebacker, it might be better than what we got now.
And another thing, too, to let the family members know, though, Debo, is that he plays linebacker and he can also move in and help you with the edge rusher. He does that as well. So this is a good move. He's 6'2", 238 pounds. But don't let the size fool you. The man could play football, bro. The man he got a nose for the ball. He's very productive.
I don't want the Kiko. What's the dude from Hawaii we had? I don't want another young.
No. Not Kiko. You're not gonna have a Aloy Kakaha. You don't have to worry about that. That's not who you got. I got some of it on the screen for the family members. And this is the analysis on it. Says Bond is a relentless pass rusher who shows top end closing speed when he gets to the path to the quarterback. There's some shock in his hands, and he should continue to improve his hand-to-hand combat skills. He covers ground, shows good instincts and coverage. He is a rangy defender and strong tackler. That's one of the scouting reports. If you watch the film on Zach Bond, you can see that the guy is also a playmaker with his footage at Wisconsin. I remember I was watching some stuff on him, like a reel set somebody put together.
With 6 grams of net.
What I realized about Zach Bond is that like he's a guy that plays football fast. And you know what I'm saying? Okay. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't think too much. It's instinctual. He has a nose for the ball.
Sideline pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Once he get to you, once he puts his hands on you, we got some footage right here that we rolling right here. Then I'm showing some of the footage on right now about Zach Bond covering tight ends. He making interceptions, making plays. This was a good call for the Saints. Saints get the linebacker a lot of people was talking about. This guy could come in and help out.
What grade did they give him? Did he have a second round grade? You know what they had him on the big board?
Well, according to ESPN, which I have right here, they got his grade at 86. They're giving him an 86 mark on here. His position rank position rank and his position rank according to ESPN's information, that he's ranked number 2 in the outside because he's listed as an outside linebacker, and he's ranked as the second outside linebacker in the draft class. So to have him in the 3rd round, the Saints went up to get him. That is actually a pretty good move for the Saints. So big ups to the Saints for making that move.
On the board, so I can see it. Yeah.
Not doubt our scouts.
You know, I just
can't doubt the scouts.
Bro,
That's right, Sweet. Can't doubt the scouts.
Be healthy all year.
That's a
I know
t-shirt.
that. We know that.
Anzalone
needs to be a background. He needs to be a backup. He needs to be a package player where you can use him in certain plays, but you can't play him every down. Not.
I'm thinking this because the Saints run a 4-3 defense. You have Demario Davis out there. Alex Anzalone is going to fight for it. Zach Bond is obviously going to line up. You have Alex Anzalone, who's really good at covering sideline to sideline. Cade Nellis is very good too. These are 3 really talented young linebackers behind Demario Davis. Alex Anzalone has not showed that he can stay healthy, but this year he's the healthiest he's been in a long time. He had the shoulder surgery that's been plaguing him. He's 100% healthy now. The only thing I can see what he can do. When he's on the field, he is tough to deal with. Bottom line with Alex Anzalone, this Zach Bond guard, like I said, I just ran some footage of him on there, and this is actually a pretty good move. I like this move.
Yeah. Zach Bond was actually predicted to go 26.
Hold on for a second, Debo. Go ahead, Swade. Hold on, I'm looking that up right now, Debo. Go ahead, Swade.
Zach Bond.
Okay, you said Zach Bond is what?
Zach Bond was predicted to go 39. So, this is, like you said, this is a doggone good pick for Zach Bond. I don't know. He was predicted to go 26 in the draft. That's how high up he was, and he slipped down to the 2nd. Well, to the 3rd, actually.
So, I mean, if you look at it, and I hope this appeased the family members, man, to a degree. Probably won't. It won't. I know Debo's still pissed off. It's not going to appease Debo.
I want Queen, bro. Queen going to be over there like the next Ray Lewis, bro.
Oh, KT.
Queen gone, Debo.
I know, bro. I can't let it go. You wanted him, bro. You know when he was sitting there, he was like, good.
Bro, I wanted him to look at but I don't know, bro. It's just I'm trying not to focus. That's right. Bro. That's what I'm trying not to do, bro.
You're trying to drink that half glass full. I feel you, bro. You're optimistic. You know what you remind me of? You remind me of Drew when we kept losing and he was just smiling at the post game. Well, you just got to be optimistic.
No. No.
You got a $50 million contract and you're losing every game, Drew. Come on, bro.
Look, Debo. Gerard in the chat, Gerard Stevenson said, I'm not appeased at all. All higher cap letters, everybody. And the family's not happy. Family, come on. Just Zach. No, I'm saying, bro, Zach. Do anybody know about Zach Bond in the chat? A lot of I'm telling you,
really
Zach Bond,
like
Nola Nerd.
Listen,
Debo. Nola Nerd says Zach Bond is a football player. Look at it before anybody. Kelvin Griffin, who that to you, Kelvin? Okay. Slick Rick, who that to you? Walter Powell, good to see you.
Coming back to the next draft, if he's trash, you're gonna eat your crow.
I will. If I'm wrong, I will apologize and definitely eat crow. But I'm telling you off top, if you watch the footage on Zach Bond could play football. The guy, like I said, listen, the best thing when he got on my radar maybe about a month and a half ago when I started watching footage of different linebackers because I was looking at the linebackers to see where some of these guys, if anybody, will rank over Pat Queen. Ken Murray was the closest, and then you had Zach Bond. Bond is not an inside linebacker; he's an outside linebacker. If you look at his if you look at the footage, as you look at the footage of Zach Bond playing, there's a lot of footage out there. It's a highlight reel showing him covering tight ends. And tight ends that can move and run. That's what you were saying. You want an athletic player who has a nose for the ball, who plays sideline to sideline, who's a strong tackler. Right. One thing I know about him too, Debo, is that once he put his hands on you, he's not letting you go. We
need tacklers, bro, because we know some players on the team that can't tackle. Eli Apple was definitely one of them. PJ Williams was one. Oh man. So, okay, I know we basically gave up the rest of our draft for this pick.
I'm looking at it now. They still showing they have the 4th, 5th, and 6th picks. So
we went back. They went back. They took our 88th pick. So we had to give them probably a 5th or 6th round pick. So that's taking one of our extra picks.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now to see what they gave up to move up to get them. So
I don't like them sacrificing the future picks, bro. That second pick screwed us over. I mean, I know McCoy was a beast, but come on, bro. We basically about to move him now. I mean,
like I said,
we gonna win 14, 13 games again this year. But I'm talking about the playoffs, bro. I know we're gonna make the playoffs. I know we're gonna win 13 games. I'm tired of losing in the playoffs, bro.
I feel you. I'm with you on that. The only way they can beat that, only way they can change that is that they have to bring the running game and they have to bring a pass rush. That's the bottom line. There's no way around that. That's no way around that.
Deuce at, bro. We need to bring Deuce to every game, dog. Take him off from being a radio cast and put some on Kamara mind or Murray mind, bro. Because Drew getting out. Anytime you see Drew with his head up and them eyes get big, you know he about to fumble, get sacked. It ain't no good thing about to happen.
When his eyes get big, fam.
Yeah, his eyes get big, bro. Mouth wide open. Ass your lips. I'm tired of it, bro.
I hear you, bro.
Hey, when you seen him fumble against the Vikings, bro, I know you was like that. I know you wanted to fight him, bro, for a little bit. I know. He
should know better than that. When he takes off like that, to have that ball hanging out like a loaf of bread. That's the thing that kind of made me upset when he fumbled that ball and then he threw the interception. And when you had 2 turnovers in the playoff game, you don't want to win the football game. You're probably not going to win
at the end of the season, bro. He did throw it in double coverage a lot. I know he's not as his arm strength isn't there like it used to be, but I mean, throwing in double coverage like that all the time, I've seen him do it like a couple times before the playoffs, bro. And I'm like, what is you doing? Didn't he do it against the Falcons or something? Like, what are you doing?
Another thing to make mention about him, man, is the fact I'm trying to dig up his full-time speed. Thank you, Dolph Malt 1938. Just subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the Great Saints Think Tank. A lot of family members. I'm just trying to get a feeling of some of the family members in the stream, what they think about this move, and a lot of people are sharing Debo's sentiment. Swade, what do you think about it? What you think about the pick of Zach Bond, Swade?
Man, I think it was a damn good pick. I think they lucked up on it, and like I said, don't doubt the scouts, bro. Zach Bond is a damn good player, and I don't even know why he fell so low into the draft. Is it an injury issue? I don't know. But yeah, man, that was damn good, damn good.
It serves
at least somebody satisfied. God bless you, brother. You in the small crowd.
You know, like I said, I believe in the offensive line, and I definitely needed a linebacker. Our corner's good.
He needs to be a starter, bro.
Our line can use another player. Defensive line, we straight.
We going there. I'm telling you,
got some holes.
We do have some holes, but the reality is I agree with Swade on that one, because it's true. Getting Zach Bond does 2 things. Okay, y'all, we just looking at the fact that he's an outside linebacker. We're smooth forgetting the fact that he can play. Walter Powell III. Thank you, Walter, for joining the Great Saints Think Tank. What up, Miguel? Who that to you? Miguel Nation says, what's good, Big Q? That boy Zach is nice. Thank you, family. Farouk says Zach Bond gets sacked too.
I give it a B+.
Yeah, and see, Debo, and look at the other family members in the Great Saints Think Tank. Look what they saying, family. The guy,
they said Debo want me what you got on my 40, homie. Straight up, dude.
All I'm saying is the guy is not just a linebacker. He can cover tight ends. He's a great tackler. Right. He has a nose for the ball. Very productive there. And another thing is he plays 2 positions. He can play outside linebacker, and you can line him up as an edge rusher. So he fits 2 needs for you.
We do need a utility linebacker.
You made me happy. You made me happy with that move right there, bringing the dude in, because you're addressing the fact that you realize that you definitely need another edge rusher to help in that position, and a guy can play.
We also do need that. We also need another linebacker and another defensive end.
Another linebacker
or undrafted. We need another one, man.
Either drafted or undrafted. Okay, I got you.
Where's the depth at? Where's the depth at?
You got depth there, Debo. You got other guys.
They
no, Debo.
Hold
on, Debo. Let me pull up the Saints depth chart because
this reminds me of Lakers fans. Lakers got all the talent in the world, and they still talking about what they need. Man,
say it again, Sway.
I said this reminds me of Lakers fans. Lakers have all the talent in the world, and they still talking about what they need. You don't need nothing. We have a linebacker. We have talent all around the board. True, we don't mind having some more additions that can make the team better, but we have all the talent. I think our problem is in the play calling. That's what a real problem is in the play calling.
Mike Nolan
and so once we get that together, we'll be fine.
All right, now let me thank you for that because I agree with that. The play calling is the issue. Like Brandon Marshall said, Sean Payton continues to hurt his team. He was right on the money with that, and I went into it and I said because y'all know I've been saying that for a time now is that Sean Payton's his discipline to making his offense balanced. If he went to the rush and focus on that rushing attack, he would be fine, man. The team would flow. And that's something that we need to focus on.
It would be more confident.
He would help Drew Brees. He's 40-something years old. You can't have him winging the ball 30-something times, 40-something times a game. That's stupid. Okay, now we're looking at the linebacker position. Behind Alex Anzalone and Demario Davis, there's Kiko Alonso. I'm not expecting him to play much because of that injury.
No.
There's guys. No. Craig Robertson's the most experienced of the backups. You got
he got to go.
You got Caden Ellis there who has potential. There's Andrew Dowell and Chase Hansen. These are young undrafted guys. That
I don't know none of these dudes.
That's what I'm saying. They're undrafted guys. And, you have to give these guys an opportunity to be able to see what they can do. Now, remember, we still have picks. Now, hold on here. Let me pull up this article and share it with the family members about the Saints and how did they get that pick to get Zach Bond. The Browns traded pick number 74 to the Saints to take Zach Bond. The Saints looking to trade up in the second round. Let me share my screen with the family members so they can see the article as well as I go over it. As you can see, Browns.
You got to show it to them, bro, because they're gonna think you're giving them fake news.
That's kind of
right now.
Hey, I love it because that mean they critical thinking. I love it. It says the Saints are reporting we're looking at the Saints were reportedly were looking to trade up in the second round. They just moved up in the third. They acquired the 74th pick from the Browns, according to Phil Yates of ESPN. Cleveland also sending the 244th pick in the seventh round. Okay, so the Cleveland is sent the Saints. So the Saints got a 7th-round pick now. Cleveland is sending.
We're giving them a second. We gave them a second, man.
Okay,
next year.
The Saints traded up in the second round. They said they get they'll get back 88 and a 21 third rounder, as he noted. Let me read that again. Cleveland is sending the 244th pick in the 7th round, while they're getting back number 88 and a 2021 third-round pick. So you are giving.
They can keep that. They can have that. They can have that.
And so they said, Yates notes in his tweet, this is the first time this draft that a 2021 selection has changed hands. The Saints' willingness to give up future draft capital makes sense, given they've been heavily signaling that they're going all in on one Super Bowl run with Drew Brees 2020. They signed some aging veterans, and they're trying to do something. Now, they say the Saints used the 74th pick to take Zach Bond from Wisconsin, who some thought had a good chance of getting drafted in the first round. As Sway covered it, linebacker had been a relative position of weakness for New Orleans, which explains why they wanted to move up to get this surprising faller. As a senior season with the Badgers, the guy had 19.5 tackles for a loss. He had 12.5 sacks. He earned first team all 10 big honors. The dude was constantly in the backfield, 9.5 tackles, and he had 12.5 sacks from the outside linebacker position / edge rusher. So you got a productive.
Do you have any interceptions, pass deflection?
No, I'm gonna then pull up his information, and I'm gonna get more specific when I get that information. I'm gonna give you all of his information. I just wanted people want to know what the Saints give up just to get.
You good. Look at the desperate need we have, but I'm tired of Davenport getting hurt, and we putting bumps in this place, bro. It's getting annoying.
I think it's gonna come a time where sooner or later, they got to get it together. And the only way to kind of help out guys get hurt, you got to have guys that move behind them that can be able to fill in and make things happen. The draft so far, what it shakes out right now is the Saints have 2 starters now. They have 2 starters. You have Ruiz, the center, and now you got Zach Bond on defense. 1 offensive line, 1 defensive player who's outside linebacker who can then also play edge rusher for you. I'm right now. These are starters for you right now. These 2 guys are going to start. Let me pull up Zach Bond's stats, and I'm gonna give him read his stats to the family members so that they can know what he's doing. He definitely starts.
He's gonna have to earn his spot, bro. He can't keep getting hurt.
Well, it's 3 spots on the 4-3. You know, when they do the 4-3 defense, which they said was the base defense package.
That package, the 2 linebacker package a lot because they have the 4 corners, right?
They do that 2 linebacker package as well, and use that that kind of, it's like a modified nickel package.
Right.
Let me see if I can pull up Zach Bowen stacks here so we can go over it. I'm gonna share it with the family members. But go ahead, Debo. What up? You got it?
Linebacker, bro.
Huh?
Be happy, man.
Well, you want it.
Gotta be happy.
It ain't Patrick Queen, but Queen was already gone. So I mean, the Saints did get a pretty damn good linebacker, bro. I know you ain't happy about it.
We could have got Fulton. I mean, we could have got a lot of good players, bro. Like LSU. Oh my God. Well, I mean, okay, we need to stop saying why the Saints don't draft LSU players. Why don't we draft SEC players? I'm gonna leave that alone. We drafted Charles. We drafted Charles Gall. I mean, I guess, bro.
Okay. Go ahead, Swade. You kind of low, bro.
I'm still low?
You're getting better now.
All right. I have an idea why he doesn't draft LSU players, because of them being so close to home. May, distract them from producing, on the field. So I think that's one reason he doesn't want to draft from home unless it's an exclusive player that he just can't let go. But being, drafted from LSU and they're so close to home, getting so much, what's the word? What's the phrase I'm looking for? Culture shock. Having so much money and being close to home, they can get into so much trouble. So I think that's one reason.
Yeah, I feel you.
Probably
That's real, but you know how people act out here, right?
Yeah, and this is some of his 2019 statistics. He played in 14 games. He had 75 total tackles, 19 and a half tackles for loss, 12 and a half sacks. He had 1 interception during the season, 2 forced fumbles, 2 pass defense. Now,
what?
Yeah, and prior to that, he didn't play very much in 2016. 2018, he played 13 games. He had 62 tackles, 7.5 of them was for sacks. He had 2.5 sacks that year, 2 pass defense, 1 fumble, and no forced fumble. So he kind of, when he got time to play, he got better.
You can put him in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can put him in.
So I mean, Zach Bond is not a bad option right there, and you do address. You get the defensive guy that everybody wanted to get. Everybody wanted them to get an athletic linebacker that can cover the tight end, and that's exactly what they did.
Can you give this draft a full grade unless we do something with Warford? Because I feel like the draft they made yesterday, the first pick, Warford got to go, bro, by like tomorrow. He has to go, like some kind of way. Like I don't care about competition, bro. We need to save money. I mean, if you're gonna cut salary, cut it now.
Lynn Bowden just left. He got picked up by the Raiders. Just to let you know. So I mean, but we'll see. They were able to use assets from next year to move up. So what they basically did is they moved up in this year to get the 3rd round to get Bond, and then let's not forget they added an extra pick in the draft in the 7th round. Now a lot of people say, well, so now that you have the rest of the draft in full, you have a 4, you have a 5, you have a 6, and you have a 7.
In the 7, so we got 4 more players.
You got 4 more players that can help you out here. So and remember, you still dealing with Ireland here.
I hope he pull the right triggers, bro, because the next 2 needs we need is a slot. The defensive end, I would say slot receiver, and would you say tight end? What you would think? Because I mean, Josh Hill, he been inconsistent. That's second tight end?
I don't know to say tight end. I don't think tight end is the move. I would say quarterback is next.
You think?
I think I think if Sean Payton, we'll see what's interesting, because I would say they could be reaching to go and look at a quarterback, because there are quarterbacks that the Saints did talk to that's still available in the draft. I mean, they are still guys there that Sean Payton could look at. And then also another thing could be wide receiver. So it could be they can address the wide receiver position. Let me take a look at the quarterbacks that's remaining, that's left there. Jordan Elliott, Jake Fromm is there. Well, no, hold on. Jake Fromm is there. Jacob Eason, Anthony Gordon. Remember the Saints talked to Anthony Gordon from Washington State. They were interested in him. James Morgan is another dude they were linked to. Steve Montez, a guy they didn't talk to, but rumors were that they were looking at his skill set. And Shea Patterson, who they also seen about from Michigan.
Ooh, I might look at him as an undrafted free agent.
He could possibly be. So like I said, there are several quarterback prospects there. Now, as you look at the wide receiver positions that's still left for the Saints in the draft, there are quite a few of them. Depending if there's Devin Duvernay, he's still on the board. Antonio Gandy-Golden from Liberty is still there. KJ Hill still on the board. Colin Johnson from Texas is still on the board. Donovan People-Jones from Michigan, he's still on the board. Quez Watkins from Southern Miss is there. Courtney Davis is another dude the Saints talked to from Texas A&M. He's there. Gabriel Davis from Central Florida. I don't know if you want another Central Florida dude. Tyler Johnson from Minnesota. You know, Tyler Johnson from Minnesota, the ultimate slot man. He's there.
Bro.
So, I mean, they got quite a few guys that are still available in terms of the wide receivers. If the Saints wanted to look at a wide receiver, now the tight end position, they got several tight end prospects, and you might be looking at a guy like Thad Moss is already off the board. So,
where he went to? Where he went?
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's still on the board. I meant to say still on the board.
I'm about to say, man.
Yeah, he's still on the board.
I mean,
so,
he's not going to be there when we draft in the fourth round. I mean, I know that. He's going to be gone. So.
It could be. If you look at I'm going to go over the Saints round, or what they have left. Let me see. Look at their draft picks that they have left here, because there are quite a few prospects in terms of the tight end there. But the Saints, they address the linebacker position. Wide receivers, obviously, something looking at quarter, but they have some more picks to make some stuff happen here. And remember, we still have Mickey Loomis. So for all the people out there who kind of frowned up about the fact that the Saints are picked it, these regardless if you like the picks or not, Ruiz could play. Ruiz could play football, and so can Bond.
We could see that. We could see they going with the best players on their mock board, obviously, because they definitely not going off our mock board.
Well, I mean, Ruiz was listed like the third best center. Zach Bond was the second or third best outside linebacker in the entire draft.
I like that pick better than our first pick.
Right.
How you like that? You like it better than our first round pick, right?
I like both picks because they fit a need. Listen, getting it. It free. Cesar Ruiz comes in, and they say he could play the center, and you can move McCoy to the guard position, whatever. But it frees you of Larry Warford, whether you trade him or release him, which opens money up, which they thinking it could make a move there. Zach Bond.
Keep Easton if we let Warford go?
Not, I think they'll hold on to Eason.
You can get $5 million off.
But remember,
book,
you still got
Easton played good.
But you still got Clapp, and you still have Cameron Tom, who read up on the cheap deal too. So if they opt, they can also opt to get rid of Nick Eason as well, who making about $5. Warford making over $7. Bro. So like I said, if you get undrafted guys, this draft is still incomplete. The Saints could very well add some more talent. They can add a running back. They can add a wide receiver. You have the Saints picking at the 24th position in rounds 4 and rounds 5 and 24th in round 6. And then you go round 7, they pick 30th. So the Saints they have 4 picks as opposed to 3. That's 4 ways Jeff Ireland can improve the team. Well, I know wide receiver is something that they're looking at getting. Let's say they move into the 4th round and the Saints take Antonio Gandy-Golden from Liberty. I mean, do
you put him over Traquan Smith?
Yes,
currently.
Yes, because his potential, his ceiling's higher than Traquan Smith. They've been playing Traquan Smith out of position is the deal. He's not a slot man. He don't deserve to be. He don't belong in a slot. That's not what he does. He should have.
He's definitely not our second either. And he our fourth wide receiver.
But I'm saying right now he's not because you have Sanders there. But don't discount the fact that Emmanuel Sanders can help him, much like a Demario Davis can help a guy like Alex Anzalone or Zach Bond. When you're around a guy like that, you're going to get better because those guys are going to make sure they take care of business. I like the Zach Bond move. Thank you, Nolan Nerd. Appreciate the donation, family. Thank you. I like the move. Zach Bond is a good play. He's fell into the third round. This guy had a first round and a high second round grade on him. He was the second best outside linebacker in the draft, and you get him in the third round.
Predicted to go 26.
You know, I like the move. And it gives. And then the thing about it is, people keep forgetting. It's just they're looking at it as just outside linebacker. This guy could cover tight ends. He could tackle. He has a nose for the ball. He's incredibly productive, and he's also intelligent. And the fact that he can then swing to an edge rusher position to give you pressure on the quarterback. So I mean,
we need a new blood at linebacker over the last 2 years. Anyways, I feel like AJ Klein and Kiko, them dudes ain't gonna do it for us, bro. If we trying to win a chip, bro, these tight ends are fast as hell, bro.
I think Kiko Alonso gonna have a lot of difficulty, Debo, getting back off of that injury. You know, you might not see him deep into the season. And besides, the Saints
put him on IR.
The Saints still have young talent, undrafted guys that can bring in and compete. We still have 4 picks left in the draft that the Saints can address. It's still 4 picks left. That's 4 players that can help you.
What you think about Phillips?
I like Phillips. I think Phillips would be a good addition for the team if they can get him. But that's an LSU guy. Whether or not the Saints draft an LSU guy, that's the problem. Michael Divinity Jr. could be another guy that can come in and help you. That could play a little linebacker edge rusher.
We could get him as a
Michael Divinity. I think he'll be between the 5 and the 7th round because Divinity I think he's gonna be drafted. Okay. Michael Divinity could play. You know, he had that injury last year that kind of messes the season up.
The gay dude from Mississippi.
He already off the board. He gone.
Oh, they said he a beast, bro.
He gone. And then, of course, remember the Saints. And I don't know if Amick Robinson's still available. I think he still is. Let me make sure I check the board and see if he's still. But that was another guy the Saints was interested in, Amick Robinson from La Tech. So I mean, it's a lot. It's quite a few people that still.
I feel like if they drafted linebacker, their draft would have been easier to map out, and they would have been able to go in the second round by trading a first round pick, by getting Ruiz in the second round. If we would have had a linebacker, center, and then we would have been. I mean, it kind of made it a little harder for us to map out the draft. I mean, we got more picks now, but basically they're gonna try to do safe picks down the line. I just hope we don't get no Ricky Leonard again.
I feel you, and that logic makes sense to me, D-Boy. It does. But this the path that they chose, man, and we just got to see. Like I said, Ruiz is a good offensive lineman prospect. He's going to start, like it or not, and it's going to help the offensive line. To be honest with you, less money, and the guy has a higher ceiling. Zach Bond gives you need there. He covers the tight ends. He's heady. He covers sideline to sideline. He can easily double it for edge rush as well. And we still have 4 other picks, so it's still an incomplete draft. And we still don't know what Sean Payton going to do with Larry Warford. Whether he's going to get an additional pick or so for Larry Warford, we don't know. It's still a lot of stuff left that needs to be handled, to be quite honest with you, fam. So, it is what it is.
I appreciate you, bro, because I've been fuming since, like, last night, bro. You calmed me down a little bit. I give you props, bro. Because it wasn't looking right yesterday, bro. This is I give you props, bro.
Well, it's all good, Debo. I appreciate it, bro. And that was teaching.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna let your other people, because I enjoy the show too, bro. First time calling in, you know what I'm saying? I respect all y'all, bro. We got some real Saints fans on here that know what they talk about, and they don't drink the Loomis and Peyton Kool-Aid. Don't get too don't drink too much of it, because they like to put some little extra stuff up in there.
That's true.
But y'all be safe, man. Wear y'all masks and be on Loomis and them ass. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
All right, appreciate you, Debo. Big ups to you.
Man.
And who that to you, baby?
Who that, man?
That's Debo. Much love, Debo. Big ups to your fam as well. Thank you for calling the Sports Coma fam. Who I'm speaking with.
What up, man? It's 985 Live, bro.
What up, 985? How you doing, fam?
Whoa, that's
good, man. I'm here working, bro. My last day for the
Live.
week, man. I'm trying to get it out the way, man, you know.
All right, good to hear that, my brother. I mean, I'm glad you're chiming in and listening to the stream, my brother. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I've been trying to call in for the last 30 minutes, bro, but it's all good. I got through, so it's all good, man. You know, I'm just glad to be on here, man.
Hey, 95 Live, you
yeah.
had to fight Debo for the line, bro. You know what, the last time somebody had to fight Debo, bro, it ain't in right. It ain't.
I say, Debo, stall him out, Debo, stall him out. Hey, man, come on, bro. Like, it is what it is, man. Hey, but I just want to let the family know, for those that didn't hear or whatever, Sean Payton came out with an interview. If you trust Sean Payton, I mean, he is our head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He is with the scouting team. He is with the GMs or whatever. So, I mean, yeah, we kind of suspect on him sometimes when he tell us stuff or whatever, because he like a politician or whatever. Sometimes he'll lie to your face. You know what I'm saying? With a straight face, though. You know? But what he said yesterday on the call, they had interviews or whatever on the call yesterday. Sean Payton said what they was looking for was offensive linemen. He said they like the linebackers, wide receivers, and cornerbacks. So if we going off on what he said from yesterday, now this the phone call he had from yesterday. He said that they drafted Louise or whatever to compete. He said he's not going to be a backup. He said specifically in the call, he said that we looking at him he said that Warford, he said Larry going to have to compete for his job. So I'm thinking, you know, like I called yesterday about Larry Warford maybe possibly getting traded today, you know. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking they going to have him compete for his starting job. Hey, if he can't make it, they going to cut him.
So
you know what I'm saying?
I listened to that interview with Peyton, man. I was going to spend a little bit of that today, matter of fact, to kind of shed light on what the strategy is, because a lot of people were asking him what the hell it's about. But that's an interesting strategy, which you were saying about Warford there, 985 Live.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, the man said it out of his mouth. He said Larry gonna have to. If he telling you Larry gonna have to compete, they looking at maybe moving Larry Warford. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is the head coach. I mean, we as fans or whatever, we want what we want. I mean, hey, I was looking at Queen yesterday. I liked the pick if it would have came. It didn't come. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We know our offensive line has struggled, you know what I'm saying, over the last couple playoff games, even in the regular season. They had their ups and their downs or whatever.
Right.
You have to build your offensive line. I said it in the comments or whatever, but I was meant to say that we can't draft undrafted. We can't get undrafted dudes to try to be our starting offensive lineman. We already know Sean Payton big on offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? In the round, he loved it. You know, I mean, look at our offensive line. Most of the guys that's on the offensive line are first rounders. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, we can't. If they've been showing us this for the last couple of years that they do offensive linemen, first round, you know what I'm saying, pretty much every year when they do draft somebody, I mean, we can't be surprised by the pick, though. You know, that's how I look at it. You can't be surprised about something, you know. I mean, what they say, a tiger don't never change his stripes.
Well, I mean, if you want to stay employed as a head coach, you got to adjust a bit, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have been. I mean, the last couple of years we have been winning, getting to the playoffs. You got to get to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? The problem is we can't get over the hump. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the linebacker pick because I'm like, okay, we got linebackers that keep going down. Craig Robinson and Stephon Anthony is not it. You know what I'm saying? They not it for as they depth guys, but they not starting caliber guys or whatever. When we played the 49ers last year, when the linebackers got hurt, that hurt us big time. I mean, when Jerry Cook got hurt, that hurt us big time. I believe if Jerry Cook could have stayed in the game, wouldn't have had that concussion, and could have had our linebackers to be able to cover those guys sidelines to sidelines, we wouldn't have lost that game. I do believe that. I'm not saying in the playoffs, but I believe that we wouldn't have lost that game, and that probably would have put us, you know what I'm saying, in the first. We would have been the first team or whatever for it in the number one spot, you know, because all we had to do was beat them, and we pretty much was, you know, we had the driver's seat, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I see where you're coming from, bro, and I agree with you, 985 Live. I think a lot of people looking at the Saints competition, man, and if you look at the Atlanta Falcon game of last year, the San Francisco 49er game, and even the Minnesota Viking playoff game of last year, a lot of the things you can go back, one thing you can get from those games is the Saints had half efforts in those games. The 49ers game was a half effort. And you say, well, damn, Q, they put up 40-something points and barely lost the game. It's a half effort. What was exactly, Swade? Swade said where the defense was at. That's 100% what I was saying. And it's a half effort. They didn't show up at all for the Atlanta Falcons game. The 49ers game, the calling was suspect big time. Sean Payton sticking his chest out and being undisciplined and putting his feelings before the actual correct mindset of what the team was supposed to be. And of course, the Minnesota Vikings game, once again, is certain coaches that he wants to really beat. Zimmer is one of the dudes, and Shanahan is the other dudes. And he's been having that rivalry with Shanahan since Shanahan was the offensive coordinator at Atlanta. So, I mean, a lot of this stuff is going on right now. And I would really say, like I was telling Debo earlier and KT, that this is self-impacted in miscues that the Saints are doing to themselves. They are not playing clean football in the playoffs. Right. They're turning the ball over. They're having miscues and false starts and drop passes and blown coverages, poor tackling outings. I mean, the
fact is, though, every year there's a new team that emerged. Whether it was the Eagles, whether it's the 49ers, or whether it was the Rams. Mm-hmm. The one thing to say about the Saints, we stay consistent as in being the top team in our division. Mm-hmm. We never strayed away from that. So we definitely have a good staff. We definitely are good at drafting players. We definitely are good at bringing new talent in. So the only problem is the play calling in the playoffs. That's our only issue. The only issue, because we stay at the top of the NFC for the past 3 years. So, I mean, that's the only thing we have to get over.
Swade, I agree with you. Now, I think if to add to that list as well is why isn't the team betterly prepared? Even when the games, you go back the last 3 years and some of the playoff games the Saints won. You know, it wasn't a clean out and then. It's sloppy football in the playoffs, and I don't understand why. How could you be so crisp and so prepared in the regular season and so discombobulated in the playoffs? And you have to look at the top and say with Sean Payton, look at even his playoff record is unimpressive. A guy that's blowing them away in the regular season, but an unimpressive player. So it's a disconnect in Sean Payton's philosophy and what he needs to bring to get his team prepared in the playoffs. So we keep adding talent, and and people saying, Q, we need wide receivers. We've won 26 games over the last 2 years with a half a wide receiver core. Mike Thomas catching all of the passes, and Deontay Harris basically kick returning and punt returning. Big ups to him. He shouted out to Sports Coma and the Great Saints Think Tank. But the reality is, we can't do this to ourselves. Now you have teams who's upping the ante, meaning the 49ers, the Vikings, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, exclusively the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are pointing at the Saints and saying, we got what we need to take them on.
We want you, Bill Boy.
We want you. They're not talking that mess to Carolina, or they're not talking that mess to Atlanta. They looking at the Saints, say we got what we need to take y'all down, and we got to be able to solve the position. And the Saints don't have that many needs. I don't understand what people are saying. Oh, they need to do this, do that. What the Saints really need to do is develop the young wide receivers, the young talent that they have on the team. Traquan Smith many people consider Traquan Smith a bust. But how could he do anything if he's being played out of position and he's not getting the proper snaps? He plays in practice, but You grow during the game. You have to play in the game, and you got the proper time in the game. Don't play him in the slot. He's not a slot wide receiver. I've been saying it. Man is not a slot wide receiver. He don't have the heart to play in the slot. He's an outside deep bomb guy. You throw him the ball like he did at Central Florida. It's right. That's pretty much. He's what Ted Ginn was supposed to be. If you wanted to see him develop this year, then you should have taken Ted Ginn Jr. off the starting position and put Traquan Smith out there. Right. He let that whole He made that whole year. He left Traquan Smith at the third wide receiver the whole time, then played him limited snaps and threw him in there every so often. That's not how you develop guys. You got to give guys an opportunity to get out there and play. And you say, well, Q, he let him play. And the times that he played, he showed up. Sometimes he showed up. A lot of times he didn't. Only thing I can tell you with a young player is if he's balling and then he gets in the game and show up, you look at Traquan Smith's body language, it's a guy that's lost confidence. It's the same thing what happened with Eli Apple. You could tell. Their play, they start second guessing each other. But let me give a shout out to some of the family members in the live stream chiming in as well. Big ups to the family members chiming into the stream. I see you. Teal, my dog Teal in the building. Teal, the legend. Who that to you? Kevin Conley. Who that to you? Fam. I see your family in the live chat as well. Big ups to you. Let's see who else we got here. I thought I seen Scotty Phillips. S. Who that to you? S. Nashville Saint. Richie Rich says Tampa Bay about to take that spot. They tell knows they can't punch us in the mouth. Okay, we got a few guys in the chat. Chad Prue, I see you. Chad, who that to you as well. All right, now that's pretty much Charles Mayfield. I see you, Charles. Big ups to you. Adrian, I see you, Adrian. Who that to you too, Adrian? Big ups to you. Thank you for joining us. B. Chris, who that to you? B. Chris, I see you, family. Scoob in the building. My dog Scoob finally joined the stream. Who that to you, Scoob? Nelly Johnson, who that to you, Nelly? I see your family. Big ups to you as well. Raheem 21, and Joshua Hoover, Richard Good. I see the family chiming in, giving a shout out to you, family. I see you. Much love, respect. Please hit the like button, family. Please hit the like button. If you aren't a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Go ahead, 985 Live, bro. You wanted to chime in there? You had something else to say?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna get off here. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I had to say or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can't get in that mindset or whatever, trying to be a Madden GM, man. I mean, yeah, we want all these good picks. We want all these fancy name dudes. But I mean, if you look around our team, a lot of these players that we did get, like Demario Davis, they not first round picks. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the guys or whatever that we picked or whatever, not first round picks. You know? And I mean, we at a point on our Saints team or whatever where we plug and play. We don't need a whole bunch of needs or whatever. We don't have a lot of draft picks, so you have to do what you have to do with what you got or whatever. If you can move around, but you can't forfeit the future or whatever like Mike Dicker did back in the day or whatever and try to get one sexy pick. You know what I'm saying? that ain't how that works. You can't build your team. You can't build a young team or whatever doing that. You know, you have to stay put sometimes because some of these players, I'm gonna be honest, some of these players gonna be a bust, man. I mean, some of these players in the first round or whatever, they not gonna get it their first year. You know, they're gonna have to build chemistry with their team or whatever. You know, I mean, it looks good on paper because we looking at highlights and stuff out of college or whatever. You know, that's why I watch college football. I don't really get in a lot of college football because a lot of the stuff that they be doing or whatever, they don't have some teams that they playing or whatever not even, you know, have a good talent. The talent level is not there. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you have those guys that do stand out or whatever on the team. You know. But I mean, we just gotta stay patient, man. Don't jump the gun. Don't jump off the bridge. Don't jump off the roof. Wherever you gotta jump off, don't jump off the roof. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Keep
serious,
the faith, man.
I mean, come on. I mean, these are not. I keep saying it. Bond is an excellent pickup. He's a very talented linebacker who can help you in different ways. He can cover tight ends. He is a tackling machine. He's intelligent, smart, knows for the ball, and plus he can line up as edge rusher too to help you. He's a definitely an upgrade in the position to give athleticism to the defense, which a lot of people wanted. Athleticism is great. And then the Ruiz pick does provide a good quality offensive lineman that won't cost you a ton of beads to have. So, I mean, I agree with you in that. Well, go ahead, Sweat.
The question that comes up is, I know Zach Bond is a damn good pick, and we all know he was ranked high. So what is the reason? What does everyone know that we don't know? Why did he drop so far down?
That it happens though, Swade. You know, somebody might not see him as a schematic fit to what they're doing. Some people can. I mean, looking at his stats and then going back, I can pretty much put on a Mel Kiper hat and says the reason why he fails because people gonna view him as a one-hit wonder. They're gonna say he had that 1 year, 2019, when he had 12.5 sacks. The year before that, he only had 2. But then I can also then say, to counter that argument, was to say that the light went on. And when the light went on, this is what you got, because the guy played and he got better in the system. So like I said, if you did your homework on him and you know what kind of player this guy is, this is a great pickup in the 3rd round for the Saints.
Yep, a needed position.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Crass said he dropped due to his medical too. That's true. I'm gonna have to look that up too, Crass, because I did hear something about that medical too. But
I know it had to.
Go ahead, fam.
Yeah, I was about to say. Is he an upgrade over AJ Klein or whatever? We're gonna find out. That's all I'm gonna say. We're gonna find out if he's an upgrade over AJ Klein or whatever. He gone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he has the intelligence of the experience of AJ Klein, but I definitely think he's more athletic.
Yeah, I think in time, bro, I think he can eclipse AJ, what AJ did. Like you said, AJ's been playing in the league for years, and he's had some good mentorship, and he's played in some good systems. So, I mean, we get this kid an opportunity to play as well. I think he will be able to play.
What was the white linebacker?
But I ain't gonna hold up the line, man.
Chandler.
I'm back in this chat, man, and get my fingers
Fajita,
in this chat.
I think he better than Chandler.
Fajita.
I wouldn't say that. They different type of linebackers. This kid's a little bit more athletic and fast, can move around a little bit. He definitely need a little work with his technique and what he's doing. But I think this is upside for him. You can make this guy work. This guy's a player. He's not perfect, but this guy is a player. He'll help the defense definitely, and I would definitely say he's definitely gonna be starting for you. And no doubt about that one. But yeah, that's cool, 985. Appreciate the call, my family. Thank you for chiming in, man, and showing some love on the stream, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Much love, man. Who that, man?
Who that to you, brother? Peace.
Now, next up on the draft pick, the Saints will draft a punter.
I don't think so, bro. Well, I hope not. I hope not. Big ups to the family member. CJ says the pick failed because he failed the drug test. Thank you, CJ, and who that to your fam. Ray Anderson says he doesn't play well in space. I seen some footage on him.
The Incredible Hulk
doesn't play well in space. Glenn Witt, who that to you? I heard on another message board that he has some substance in his system at the combine. Yep. But the Saints like him. We're gonna help him. I still say, despite all of that, that this is a really good pick for the Saints, and they went up. And credit to the Saints and Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis and Jeff Ireland. They went up, snatched the guy to help the defense, and then even acquired a 7th-round draft pick to fill out the rest of the draft with. So 4 picks to help. And people say, well, Q, what good a 6 or 7-round pick's gonna happen? Listen, Caden Ellis was a 7th-round draft pick. So I mean, and this guy is a fantastic talent. So it still gives Jeff Ireland opportunity to find a talent in the draft. Go ahead, Swade.
No, I was just saying. Also, wasn't Marcus Coates in the 7th round?
7th round.
Yeah, he was a 7th rounder, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay then. So I mean, that was gonna be our
great point
on our record-breaking receipt. Yeah, man. So don't worry, don't trip on the name. Don't trip on it, man. Trust me.
No doubt about it. I agree with you. I think a lot of people need to understand that. Cliff F, who that to you? Kenneth Sutton, big ups to you. Glenn Witt says highlights on YouTube are spectacular. Great edge rusher. Didn't see any pass defense highlights. Thank you, fam. Let's see. Richard Rich says defense is getting better. Let's see. He also says, why not worrying about Tampa? Tom, Gronk, OJ. We all know Brady likes the 2 tight end system. Then they have Evans, Goodwin. And then they got a running back. Tampa Bay is definitely picking it up. I heard what Debo said. I think Debo said they got 500 times better or 200 times better. But Debo, they was 500 times worse last year. They got 200 times better. They still -3 in my opinion. They all better team. Don't get me wrong. They probably the most competition the Saints are going to get in the NFC South is from Tampa. It does give it that rivalry a new sting, a new pizzazz to it. Even so, over in the Atlanta rivalry now with having Tom Brady. What you think about that, Sway?
Well, I'm not believing in Tampa. You know what I'm saying? I'm not believing the hype. Yeah, you have Brady. Yeah, you have the new tight end. I forgot his Gronkowski, and you're doing a lot of nice pickups, but it's still, that offensive line to me is just not official, and that's the reason why Winston got his ass handed to him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't even believe in Carolina. Bridgewater, yeah, he's a good player, but our offensive line protected him, and our defense put him on the map for that stretch. You know what I'm saying? So I remember Bridgewater, he wasn't looking too good. To me, he still is not, that dude. But hey, he got what he snuck in right quick. So he's gonna get his ass handed to him too. The only competition I see over there is Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sleeping on Atlanta, but Tampa, I'm not worried about them at all, and definitely not Carolina.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see, bro. I think Tampa Bay, we can't underestimate. I'm not really believing underestimating anybody. Look what happened to the Saints last year when they played the Falcons and got totally destroyed by them. And Falcons almost kind of tried to build their season back off that. They was feeling themselves for a stretch until they fell back to their garbage ways. S says Zach Bourne ran a 4.65, but Kittle from the 49ers runs a 4.49. Won't be able to cover Kittle. Well, I mean, it's a schematic. We'll see about it, fam. I mean, I still say, man, that we still, the upgrade, the speed of the linebacker. You have Caden Ellis, who's fast. You bring this kid, he's an athletic linebacker. Anzalone's athletic. Demario Davis. I still say you get more athletic. It's a plus with this kid. Kittle's not too many linebackers can cover Kittle's anyway. It's a handful of these tight ends out here that you need a cornerback or defensive back to cover these guys. Very few linebackers that can cover some of these athletic, fast tight ends. So, I mean, and Zach Bourne, we'll get it figured out, fam. Farouk Abbasi says, they say Bourne's urinalysis was diluted. He said he was trying to weigh more. Okay, I got you. Thank you, Farouk. Appreciate that. Jermaine says.
That was a good word right there, diluted.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Thank you, Farouk. 985 said, let's find out why we made it. Let's go, Bourne. Aaron Campos, who that to you? Aaron says, I don't understand the Tom Brady hype. He started falling off a cliff last year. The thing about him, why everybody's talking Tom Brady, is because he never had this kind of amount of weapons around him. They built they added pieces to offensive line to protect the statuesque him. They have a good running back system. They got weapons to tight end system there. He has Goodwin and Evans, and a lot of people anticipating him to have success because Bruce Arians is a hell of a coach, one of the best coaches in the league. He's going to take New England style principles and incorporate it into Tom Brady, make the offense as familiar as possible, to flatten the learning curve for him and the rest of the team. So anywhere Tom Brady goes, you got to take that serious, especially if he adds Gronkowski there. And you don't even need 3 year ago Gronkowski. Just Gronkowski to fit in along with Evans and all these kind of guys. It'd be sister. Go ahead, Sway.
About to find out. I remember in New England, Tom Brady was hurt, I think, for maybe 4 or 5 games. And then a quarterback came in there. I can't remember. I don't know if it was
Matt Castle.
Matt Castle came in there and went on an undefeated run. All right, so I think in New England it was more of the play calling and the scheme. Tom Brady, yeah, he is good, but now we're going to see if he can do it without Belichick. And I don't think he will be as efficient as he was. Yeah, he has some weapons. This is true, but he won't be as efficient.
Yep,
that's my bold prediction right there.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, man. That I appreciate that, brother. That is quite bold. That's pretty bold. A lot of people, no matter what TB12 go, he gonna carry quite the following because of his accolades and the things that he done over his career. So we understand that, but I think it's disrespectful for him to come into the NFC South. He can win anywhere, but come into the South and go head to head with Drew Brees in his own conference, that's pretty ballsy of Tom Brady to do, because Brady has the Super Bowl rings. He has 6 of them. Drew has 1. Drew has all the passing records. Tom Brady is not too far behind catching Drew. So to be able to sign a 2-year contract, play in the NFC South, and Drew signed his contract basically the same cost. Drew 2 years, $50 million. Tom Brady 2 years, $50 million. Lined up face to face. You think Drew Brees is going to play 1 year and then let Tom Brady play an extra year to catch his records that he played for 20 years to set? Think again. So, I mean, this might be a situation where the Saints could ideally just address some of the needs, improving the athleticism of the defense, and by any measurement possible, eliminating, because talent is important. Getting help at the wide receiver, defensive back, edge rusher, and all this other stuff is important. But my goodness, man, it doesn't mean a hill of beans if you do not do what you're supposed to do when the playoffs start. That is by committing the team. Yes, right. You cannot commit turnovers. You cannot have miscues and problems and inflict that stuff upon yourself in the playoffs. You cannot do that. You must be disciplined. You got to let the other teams beat themselves. You can't help the team beat you by blown coverages in the playoffs. You're supposed to have already broken your team down to a molecule and know exactly what their tendencies are, their best plays, and their go-to guys. You're supposed to know that, and that's something that we got to make right. Go ahead, Sway.
I'm just you notice. Now, I think that a lot of teams that we face in the playoffs, which is what they're supposed to do, they go back and look during that season and see how the teams that defeated us, how they did it. And they take that strategy and place that in the playoffs. And I don't know how Sean Payton doesn't catch on to this. Every year, like I said, he just never learns from his mistakes. Like even last year, you look at how Frisco beat us. That's a new word. Minnesota came and did the same thing Frisco did. So they always look at the opponents that give us our losses and take that scheme on how to defeat us. So if we turn it around in the playoffs, man, come with a different scheme, start with the screen, start with the all the dumbass plays that we do, the constant plays. Maybe we can come out with a victory and start running the ball. Let's do something different. It's all in the play calling, it's not the talent.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And that's what it's going to basically come down to is in the end. And we have a lot of questions dealing with the team. Who's going to be the future at the quarterback position? What happens with Alvin Kamara? Do they sign him or do they get rid of him? The future questions about Demario Davis getting an extension. Marshawn Lattimore and Ramczyk obviously is going to get theirs. Do Drew Brees play a second year? As opposed to go to the booth in NBC. A lot of questions yet to be answered. And the Saints are definitely making moves. I mean, people might not like the center move, but the guy is a good player. A lot of people might not like Zach Bowen, but that was an area of need. A lot of people seen, and they appeased me. And a lot of people who wanted a linebacker that could play, because the guy can play linebacker and he also can rush the passer. You can put him as an edge rusher. So I mean, right, one bird, one stone kill bird type, two birds kind of thing.
Bird, Toko be well. No, I just wanted to give some highlights on. I'm loving this quarantine draft that they have going on because it's like so real. When one of the guys, I think it was C.D. Lamb, he got the call and his girlfriend tried to get the phone from him, and he checked it out of her hand. Oh man, that was so hilarious to me. It was another one where another guy got drafted. His girlfriend went to hug him and sit on his lap, and his mama took her under her arms and pulled her away from the dude. I just love it because it's so real. You get to see how these players live, and the
Yeah, my mama saying, man, Mama said you getting too comfortable. She said, we rich now. Mama said you getting too comfortable. Get your you know what up out of here.
Yeah, man, I love it, man. It's real.
Well, we got that now. I got on the screen now popping up is the best photos of Zach Bond. It's from Saints Wire, showing some footage of photos here from Zach Bond as his time with Wisconsin, and this is your 3rd round draft pick, a guy that should come in and help the team and the Saints play. Now he's not the tallest. Some people say he's 6'2", 6'3", in there, but to be honest with you, the guy is a playmaker, man. The guy is energetic and he can make plays. So
we gotta be tall.
So we go right. You can see we showing a lot of him getting pressure on the quarterback and celebrating and playing hard in practice. This dude brings it, and we're gonna and people actually love this guy, you know. And it's good to see the Saints get a guy like Zach Bond on the team, man. Love it, man. It's just really big, and I'm kind of anxious. I'm really anxious to see how the rest of the draft shakes out tomorrow. You know, so it's been fun. Please, if all the family members, man, well over 150 people in the stream, please feel free to hit the like button, family. Please hit that like button. Over 150 people in the stream. We got 88 likes. Please hit the like button. It helps drive the algorithm up big time. And since we did these 2 draft shows, a lot of love, man. A lot of new Saints family members have subscribed. I thank all of the subscribers, both new and established subscribers, to the Sports Coma, a.k.a. the Great Saints Think Tank, man. You know, so.
Who thought of this, man? That's an awesome phrase right there.
Well, it just came to me, Sway. You know, it just came to me.
Man, you genius, bro.
Well, I mean, bro, that's also and just let people know, Sway. We creative, Sway. You know that we've been doing that since we were churn. Not children, not children, churn.
Churn, man.
Since we were churn.
I wanted to go to Fitbit. Fitbit, bro. You know what a Fitbit is, correct?
Yeah.
Right. I wanted to go ahead and tell them they should do a commercial with Bobby Brown, every little step I take. Huh?
That's pretty good. That
was really clever.
That's pretty good. See, that's pretty good. That's pretty good too. And the last thing you said when you was on the last show was you hit him with the Jake Fromm from State Farm.
Right, it's coming. As soon as he gets drafted, trust me, Jake Fromm is gonna get what it is, sponsored by
State Farm. What? Jake Fromm from State Farm. I got you.
State Farm.
I got you.
Right. Yeah, I called it.
Aaron Campbells, thank you for subscribing. Aaron Campbells, big up to you, Aaron. Thank you. If you're not a subscriber, family in the chat, Clint F, who that to you, Clint? Who that? If you haven't Tom Elliott Music says Zach Bond looks like he works better in a 3-4 defense, though. That he does that smallish linebacker quality, but that athleticism should help out, though. Big ups to the family members who are not subscribers. Please feel free to subscribe now to the Great Saints Think Tank. Had a lot of great people subscribe over the last couple of days, and I like to say I appreciate all of the great established Saints family members' support. On down, all the beautiful Black and Gold family members. Thank y'all. Seth Griffin, who that to you? He said, I want Jake from State Farm. So you start something, Sway. It rolls right off, dog. You gave him some ideas.
Jake from State Farm.
It's big ups. But yeah, that seems to be the thing, family. And we get into I hate to shut it down, but we're getting toward the end of our stream here. And I know we still have a few picks left in the draft. Nothing have to do with the Saints. Titans, Green Bay, Denver, KC, Browns, Ravens, Giants, Raiders, Jets, Steelers, Eagles, the Rams, Vikings, and Ravens close out the round, and nothing have to do with the Saints. So go ahead, Swade.
What was the last bust?
Thank you, First 318. Go ahead, fam.
No, what was the last bust the Saints had in the first round?
The last bust? Who that, Willie?
Bust, right.
Oh, the last first round bust the Saint had in the first round. The last first round. I'm gonna have to look into that one, Sway, because I want to yell out Cedric Ellis, but I know I'm not certain. But hold on, I won't say Cedric Ellis, But let me look it up right quick.
Was that even? In the Sean Payton era. Let me see that.
I don't think he was. I think he was in. I'm not certain. I don't think he was. I don't know. He wasn't. I don't think he was in the Sean Payton era. I think he might have. I'm gonna have to. Let me look up the. Let me see Saints first round draft picks. I'm gonna have to look that up because that brings.
I'm looking at it right now for you.
Okay, bring it down, Sweet.
I'm gonna bring it on down for you.
The last one you said.
The last bust has the Saints ever had a first round bust since Sean Payton?
It's since Sean Payton, you said.
Right, in the Sean Payton era.
Oh.
You had Marcus Davenport. I think that would be.
That's too soon to say he's a bust. Too soon. If you saying that way, I don't agree. I wouldn't agree that Davenport's a bust.
All right, so you had Jamal was in 2005. Out there, you had Reggie Bush in 06. You had Meacham in 7. You had Cedric Ellis in 8. You had Malcolm Jenkins in 9. You had Patrick Robertson in 10. Cameron Jordan in 11. Akeem Hicks that was third round. Kenny Vaccaro in 13.
You see a
Brandon
bust?
Cook.
Stephon Anthony would be my call.
Stephon Anthony, he was a first rounder with Andrews Pete.
Yeah.
Sheldon Rankins, Marshawn Lattimore, Marcus Davenport. McCoy was in 2, and Cesar Ruiz was is the native. So what up? The whole saying all that, they don't make too many bad decisions.
Right. That's a great point. And Kenny Vaccaro, I don't know if you want to call him a bust. He actually played his ass off the first year or two until he lost his confidence. Then it was downhill after that. But that first year, if you remember how Vaccaro played that first year, boy, they was calling him Earl Thomas. They was calling him a bigger, fast. They was calling him a bigger version of Earl Thomas. But then when that second year came,
he lost his confidence
big time.
I think he played with Joey Browner.
I think Bird.
Jason Davis.
Jarris Bird. Wasn't Bird there?
Probably, yep.
I'm
probably hurt the whole man. He had to do it all his own. He had to do it himself. So, I mean,
But he playing well for the Titans now, and showing up for him now. But Stephon Anthony, to me, if I had to go back in recent memory, would probably be what you would consider a first round bust. No doubt about it. It's clearly Stephon Anthony because he's not nowhere near where he's supposed to be. So we're gonna take one more.
That year they got an offensive lineman and a linebacker.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. So I mean that's the thing that I would have to say Stephon Anthony is the last time they had a first round bust. What up, fam? Thank you for calling Sports Cone. Who I'm speaking with?
I'm speaking to J Live, man. What's going on, Big Q, baby?
What's up, fam? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Look, just want to get my opinion on what's going on with the draft and everything, man. I'm tremendously satisfied. I'm one of the few fans, bro, that actually wanted them to go O-line first because every big game where we went against a stout defensive front, we had issues. Yeah, it's the Saints. It's the Saints offense. Drew Brees gets rid of the ball real quick, so we make all right linemen look great, and they make the Pro Bowl and stuff like that. But the Vikings, San Francisco, they definitely exposed us, man. And Sean Payton saw that, and he addressed it, a need that needed to be addressed. I am tremendously satisfied with that. And then we got a linebacker, a great linebacker. I like what we did.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you.
I agree. I think it's a pretty decent move. It's a good move itself. People not looking at that. They're saying that the need wasn't that you could have waited. They were better players. Debo was making the point. And KT also, a lot of the family members were saying that they could have did better or perhaps address that offensive lineman need later. Remember, family, all these teams, players, coaches, general managers, all have their guys that they like. I wouldn't have picked, like the Raiders, for instance, I wouldn't have taken that cornerback that who had the 3rd or 4th round grade on him. Thank you, Tone. Welcome to the family, Tone 320. I would have not taken the cornerback that the Raiders did that year. The guy ran a 4.56 in the combine, And you took him right. And you took him in the first round. I would have not taken that guy there. He was considered a third or fourth round cornerback, but you took him in the first. But that's not the point. The point is that
Day or something like that.
I wouldn't say
with Day or something like that. He had like 3 names.
I don't think it's him. What you were saying, Swade?
I said I wouldn't say nothing like that because Caesar was not predicted to go in the first round, and they went and got him. They went down and got him.
Yeah, right. That's what I was. But that's what I was saying. That my point is that if everybody has their guys who they like, who they think can help their team, that can work in their scheme, and John Gruden, and I'm looking it up right now. The guy's name is Damon Arnett from Ohio State. Damon Arnett.
Oh, all right.
He drafted him with
this year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this year they drafted him with the 19th pick in the first round. And the guy he's 6 feet, 195, but he's a full 5'9", 40 time. That's and Gruden likes the guy, took him with the pick. I wouldn't have done that, and many other teams wouldn't have done that. But that just goes to show you the diversity and thought when it comes down to these guys. Thank you, Tom Elliott Music, for subscribing to the Great Saints Think Tank. But that just goes to show you the mentality of different people and who they like. And the Saints obviously felt that this guy was not going to be available, and they had him high on their board, for a reason. There's several other players I thought that if the Saints would have moved past him, they could have got the guy from LSU, they could have got the other guy, but they decided, look, this is our guy. We're going to make a play for him. A lot of people upset because it's a center.
It's a well-needed player.
But you know what, Q, bro?
Mm-hmm.
If they would have picked Queen first and then picked Zach Bone second, I think everybody would be satisfied. I mean, not Zach Bone second, but the center.
Hold on, Jay. Hold on just a second, Jay. Yeah, hold on, Jay. Oh, go ahead, Jay. Swade was talking when you was talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, bro. And I think everybody will be satisfied. But my thing is, when I look at Queen, bro, watching the tape on him and then watching Bond, there's not too much of a drop-off. And in some instances, Bond is definitely a better pass rusher. That boy's first step off that line is extraordinary, man. I didn't see that from Queen. He's more physical than Queen. Look, I think we came out on top, bro. I really do. As far as those two linebackers in the long run, I was more high on Bond than I was on Queen. That's just me.
I mean, Queen to me, I'm an LSU guy, so I watch Queen play the size and how he plays the game. I like, he got flaws in his game, no doubt about it. He wasn't a terrific pass rusher like Zach Bone is.
Up a lot though, Q.
Yeah, I've seen some of that. He definitely got room. I'm not gonna say he's the perfect linebacker. He definitely has flaws in his game, but he can be rounded out to be something special. But Zach Bone, I agree with you. Zach Bone, his quality, that speed, that linebacker position, and he's something special, man. And for him to fall to the Saints like that, I'm really liking that move right there. I really am.
And look, with him and Caden Ellis, hopefully he can stay healthy this year, and Anzalone, man. If we stay healthy, bro, I like our linebackers. Mm-hmm. I really do. If we stay healthy, and that's the big question.
That's major.
If we stay healthy.
That's the that's the major thing, Jay. I mean, to be honest, which is the health issue. And then, of course, the Saints have to do a better job in keeping depth like they did last year to absorb a lot of the injuries to their most prized players. We didn't think they would win games without Drew Brees, but they were undefeated. We didn't think they could do – we thought they'd struggle with Elvin Kamara. They pulled Latavius Murray, and they kept winning. And the Saints absorbed a lot of the injuries to the team last year because of the great depth. I expect more of that to happen this year as well. That's the mentality you got to have.
And that's what Sean Payton learned. That's the difference in Sean from young Sean to old Sean now. Mm-hmm. Sean knows that depth is the key. Yeah, you can have a nice starting lineup, but boy, if your depth behind them is garbage, you garbage.
That's right.
It's that old saying, Q. You're only as strong as your weakest link. That's right, baby.
And the Saints, their weakest link right now, and I don't see too many teams challenging the Saints. It's out of character moves. Like Sean Payton, if he would have stayed disciplined and stayed to the game plan, they would have handled those three teams last year. The 49ers would have been more of a challenge because the 49ers are a very good football team, so that's just a given. But when games like that, it's the guy who does the least mistakes or have the least turnovers is the guy that ultimately wins. So I mean, that's how it goes.
I remember watching both of those games, Q, bro, and all I kept saying is, man, why we doing all this cute shit? I mean, stuff. I don't mean to curse, dude.
No, I got you.
All this cute stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, all we got to do is line up, play ball, execute. That's it. We ain't got to do nothing special. We just got to keep doing what we've been doing all year. But like you said, Sean get cute. And Drew got a little bit of that in him, too, because after Taysom came and threw that long bomb, Drew like, well, I could do it, too. No, Drew. Chill out, man. Chill out for a second, man. you didn't have to throw that long. It wasn't. He was double cover too, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they just need to chill out. Don't be so cute. All we got to do is line up and play. That's how good we are, man. All we got to do is line up, play, just execute our plays, Q, and we good. We don't got to play that cute ball. We ain't got to get cute. We can throw a play here, there, and Sean gonna be Sean. But when the game's on the line, when it's third and something, no cute plays, man. Line up, run the play, execute.
Yep. Simple.
Sometimes they get too cute. Yeah, man.
Simple, super simple.
Right. It's kind of like that old Bill Parcells rule, He used to have, I think they said one time he was running maybe 10 plays. It's all about execution.
That's right. And that's a part I keep saying about the Saints is that when it comes to the playoffs, you have to eliminate the mistakes and play perfect football. And that's just something that I just have to keep saying over and over again, because sooner or later it got to resonate that the reason why we can't get deep in the playoffs is because of this. It's because of the fact that the Saints are beating themselves so much in the playoffs, turnovers and whatnot, not making the correct plays, and game management, play calling, suspect play calling, going for it on fourth down, right. Not running the correct personnel in 3rd and 1 situations. Like Latavius Murray, right. Really organizing your offense to the point where you can say, this guy is a short yardage back, this guy is going to do this, this is the space guy, right. And feeding off of the strengths of the players and not having players doing things outside of their realm of capabilities. Like what happened with Traquan Smith, trying to force him to be a slot man when he's not a slot man.
That was
he's
a good
not.
Point, man.
So
that was a real good point you made.
You got to know your team, and you got to operate from within the strengths and build confidence from these young players. And that's something the Saints and with these wide receivers like Emmanuel Butler and LaJordan Humphreys and guys like this. These young guys have to have an opportunity to be able to get on the field and produce. And it's we'll just have to see how it shakes. But I'm really happy so far based upon what I'm seeing in the Saints draft at this point.
Yeah, me too, man. It all worked out in the end, bro. We hit on positions of need, and
right.
And I'm telling you, man, that O-line, bro, I pay attention to it, Q.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't satisfied with that line, and if it wasn't Wolford, it was Andrews. But I gave Andrews more of a pass than Wolford, because he was injured and
mm-hmm.
playing injured all year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So when I know, and I saw when Andrews was healthy the year before, man, he was a dog. Yeah, so he had some performances that was just great. It's like, man, look at Andrews out there. But it was Wolford, the one that was a real weak link. He had a bad season, man. It kind of reminded me of that Unger season the year before he retired.
Mm-hmm.
Where he was the weak link on the line. And I'm telling you, last year, he was the weak link. He got pressure on Drew Brees quick. He couldn't hold up, man. He couldn't anchor. And it was showing up. It was showing up, man.
He struggled mightily, man, no doubt about it. And several other players struggled too. The Saints and the Vikings game, they had really problems. But you gotta think about it. The level of the elite pass rushers that those guys, Danielle Hunter is absolutely a beast. And then you look at guys like Everson Griffin. These guys are spectacular pass rushers. These is not every Joe Smo defensive lineman. It was a brilliant strategy for Zimmer to do that, to invert his defensive line. Why don't the Saints do that? I often said the Saints should treat Cam Jordan like the Texans treat J.J. Watt That means circulate him and move him all around that defensive line to find the mismatch.
They did try that a little bit
They
more
did that last year.
Q.
They did do that after the fact, because I was preaching that the years prior that they need to do.
Right.
Look at moving him around to find
him.
him.
They just kept him on his side.
Right, and that lacks the imagination of the defensive coordinator to be able to do this. You got to be able to put these players in the position to succeed. You don't move him around on that line to the best of your ability to be able to find that mismatch. And now you have Davenport there, do the same. Right before the ball snaps, switch them like I've seen several teams do that when they move the players around to create mismatches to kind of surprise the offensive line before the snap. So, I mean, it's interesting, but we're going to see how it shake out, man, because I think the time is coming where Sean Payton has to run the ball because he doesn't have the crutch of Drew Brees being there for the future. And that got the scare. Sean Payton went into this year begging Drew to come back because I'm telling you, reality hit him that life without Drew Brees is a scary thing. Drew has been with Sean Payton for a long time. He ain't won. And the only other guy he ever won with was Teddy Bridgewater. And now Teddy Bridgewater is your competitor. So, I mean, life without Drew Brees is going to be a scary thing for Sean Payton. So I expect him to shake out of his old doggy ways and do some different, like running the ball, get another Super Bowl ring before this guy gets to the booth.
Hey, well, hopefully somebody got in his ear, Q, because last year our running game suffered just because he wouldn't use Latavius Murray, man. I wish he realized who Kamara is, man. He's a special player, but he's a special player in moderation and spots. He's not no 3-down back. You're going to bang him up, and it's going to be like it was last season, hurt all throughout the year. And you're getting like 75% of Kamara, which we in the Who That Nation don't like. We didn't like that too much last year, bro. He had too many moments, like especially that one where he ran out of bounds, man. Like little things like that, but that was because he was hurt. That wasn't the Kamara that we know, you know what I mean? He was trying to save himself, live to fight another day.
But, I agree with you on that.
But he has to learn how to use Murray, man. Like, he has to use that guy. That guy hungry. And it shows, man. It shows when he touches that ball. And a 1-2 punch from both of those guys, man, is that's what we need. You need to go back to that old Mark Ingram and Kamara. And probably lead with Murray, maybe. As far as him being the heavy back, being the goal line back, the short yardage back.
I mean, that's a terrific point. I've keep saying this, and hopefully this will take wings too. With the Saints, is that the fact that the Saints aren't the only team that can create innovation and people can borrow their stuff. The Saints can borrow people's stuff that work as well. Zone running schemes. Try that, because teams that run that on the Saints had tremendous success last year. Saints couldn't stop it. Maybe the Saints should start employing that more in their offense as well. The 3-headed running back attack that San Francisco very excellently implemented last year on the way to the Super Bowl appearance. Right. That was terrific, and it's very hard for a defense.
And look, it was hard for me to follow on TV, Q.
I'm telling you, it's hard because you given if the 49ers mesh, they put those running, and all of them had different styles of running. It was hard for the defense to be able to key in on how this guy right. And then the thing about it, you have Alvin Kamara. There are packages they need to start using where Kamara and Latavius Murray are on the field at the same time. Meaning you could put line Kamara in space somewhere as a wide receiver potentially, and have Latavius Murray back there. He can run without a running back, and also using Dwayne Washington too. And using Dwayne Washington later in the game. He's a north-south physical runner. Nobody wants to tackle those guys late in the game.
Yes, and his running style is different. He has a quick first step, quicker than Murray and Kamara as far as going north and south. He at a hole. He is different. He's fast, man.
He averaging. I was looking at his statistics that since he's been playing for New Orleans, a guy averaging over 5 yards a carry. How is he not getting any snaps? And to your point about Latavius Murray, last year Latavius Murray's time, even in limited fashion, 640 something yards. I think he had last year, 647 yards, something like that. And
I can't even believe it.
And he was still only like 100 or so yards just from catching Elvin Kamara when he had like 700 something odd yards. So he was like 100 yards behind Elvin Kamara, despite the fact that he had so limited use. Then he showed you he can catch the ball out the backfield, and then he had a second wheel. A second gear. I don't understand why they didn't employ him like that. Maybe then again, I understood the fact that because Kamara was a primary back.
Like his toys.
Yes. And that
like his toys, man.
Yeah. He tried to operate a primary back system with Kamara.
I'm sorry, with his toys.
No, go ahead, bro.
Don't get me started on Peyton, man. But look, I love him. We all love him. But sometimes, man,
Yeah.
Hey, Q, well, look, I ain't going to hold him. I'm pretty sure you got other callers that weren't calling, man, but I always appreciate what you do. Love calling in, man. Normally, I just sit back and listen to you.
I appreciate
me mad at you for a couple weeks. Talk about my coach and Taysom Hill.
Well, you know,
it's
I'll just try to keep it
uncut, man.
There you go, babe. There you go, babe.
It's the sports coma, baby. I know where I'm at.
Well,
hey, man, but love what you do, man.
Appreciate the love and support. Thank you, my brother. And same back at you, my man. And don't be a stranger. Continue to call up, my brother.
Yes, sir. All right, man.
Who that?
Yeah, have a good one. Good night.
You too.
Be safe. Who that?
Peace. All right. Appreciate the brother chiming in there, man. Jay, you still with us, Swade? Swade? I guess Swade. All right. Hold on, Swade. Are you still with that? Oh, okay, Swade's. All right, Swade must have his number dropped out. All right, family, let's we kind of reaching toward the end of our show. Here, family, I'd like to thank everybody, all the beautiful Black and Gold family members for chiming in tonight, man. It's been a terrific show as usual. And I thank you guys, man, for all that you do and for what you do and how you do it, man. Big ups to all the beautiful Black and Gold family members. And the great things. Just to let you know before we leave, I'll go to my little commercials and let you know the PRO Media Network, or called Pro Radio, PRO Radio, is available to listen to on Spreaker.com/The Sports Coma. You can listen to all of our shows. That's the Sports Coma, the Pelican Post Game Report, Ring King Boxing, and even Tough Tiger Talk. We have several other podcasts available on the PRO Media Network, not outside of the Sports Coma. And you can listen to the audio streams on Spreaker.com/The Sports Coma. It goes back into our catalog on some of the older shows if you want to listen to it as well. Spreaker.com/The Sports Coma to check that out. Also, big ups to all of the family members who became patrons. Much love to you, Big Smoke Dog. Thank you for becoming a patron as well. And all of the beautiful Black and Gold family members who I gave a shout out to on the stream yesterday, and I will then give a shout out to the family members on Patreon as well. Of course, at the bottom of the stream, we show love and show all of our people that's showing love to us. And the Patreon is another way to level up the support of the platform for people who believe in the platform to the point where they actually that they became donators. And I appreciate that because that helped drive the show. And we created more shows like On Cue with Big Q, which is available on Patreon, which is basically we talk about a lot of stuff going on in the world outside of the Saints, Pelicans, boxing, and talk. We cover entertainment, sports, but a lot of political stuff as well as common sense stuff that's going on right now. So we'll be, just to let the family members know, another episode of On Cue and Big Q will be available tomorrow, along with we'll do the third and final day of Saints talk on the day 3, which the Saints have a full cupboard now, 4, 5, 6, and 7 round picks. It's going to be a full day. Big ups to Bernard Brown, Big Joe Bear, Christian Gale, Dada, Saints #1, Derek Lockett, Devin Frank, Devon Cashner, Donovan Grayson, Ernest the Professor, Joseph Parker, Kelly Bell, Kevin Stevenson, my dog Scoob, big ups to you as well. Sean Sims, Smoke Dog, and all the family members for joining the Patreon. If you're interested in becoming a member of the Patreon, to listen to a bit On Cue with Big Q and other because we also do content, Sports Coma content that is not available on the regular stream that you can only get from Patreon, becoming a Patreon member. So if you're interested in that, please join patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. And also just to let the family members know that the platform has its own official store with Pro Apparel. There are several new designs available. The Drew Orleans shirt is available. They got a second version coming out soon of Drew Orleans, and it's a few other shirts that's there. There's a new Great Saints Think Tank shirt that just was released today that's available on there. It's Patreon. The Pro Media Network platform store. Over 30 different designs, coffee mugs, smartphone cover cases, all kind of stuff. Hundreds of dozens of products available at the Pro Shop. If you need the link, go to the description section below for all the information. That's got the Patreon, the Cash App, all that kind of stuff. If you want to help the platform grow, you can do it that way. And remember, family, I'd like to thank you again. This is day 2 of the Saints draft. Tomorrow is day 3. We'll cover round 4, 5, 6, and 7 tomorrow on the show. Remember, On Cue with Big Q will also be released tomorrow as well, and we'll be covering some topics dealing with the C virus stuff. I'll play some interviews from some doctors that'll really open your mind, and we'll talk about some other stuff, and hopefully we'll be able to share you some light and some stuff that you can kind of add into your mind, your knowledge base that can you can then share with your family members and maybe create a strategy to be able to go through these tough times. So we'll talk about a lot of different things. We'll cover it on Q, Big Q, and also we'll have the Sports Coma day 3 on the mock. So I'd like to thank all the beautiful Black and Gold family members for chiming in. Much love to you, all the beautiful family members as well. Yeah, Swade dropped from the screen. The stream, I think his phone had an issue. He dropped, but I appreciate Swade. Thanks, Swade, for joining us for the entire draft tonight. I don't know if he'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna contact him and see if he wants to come back tomorrow and see about it. Big Joe Bessa, how do I get the Big Q show? You can get Joe, you already a member of the Patreon. It'll be posted via the Patreon. And then what happened was the Patreon, the way they do it is they put the link on patreon.com. So just be looking for your notifications, whatever email that you signed up with on patreon.com, it'll notify you. So if you got the Patreon app or if you got an email there, make sure your email is correct and it'll send you a notification with a link where you can be able to click and listen to the show. It also will be available on to the members of the platform as well. Like you see the button that says join. If you join like that, you'll have access to that content as well too, and unreleased Sports Coma content as well. So if you're interested in there, please feel free to hit the patreon.com/PRO Media Network. All the description sections, all the information is in the description section below. Kevin says, grab the PBS deal, bro. And I don't know, man. They wouldn't like what I'm talking about. It's not mainstream, man. And if you can't sing that tune, man, it's not what they want. And just to give a little hint for those with that kind of mind, look up Operation Mockingbird. Do that. Y'all look up Operation Mockingbird. When I get on the stream tomorrow, tell me what you find. That's just a little giblet of the type of stuff that's covered on Q with Big Q. Operation Mockingbird. Look it up and get a bang out of life. Janicia Brown. Oh, Janicia, good to see you there, Janicia. Big ups to your family. Yep. We out the live stream. So I'd like to thank all the beautiful Black and Gold family members for joining the live stream tonight. We will be back tomorrow to cover Saints content. Remember, On Q with Big Q will be out between 12 and 3. It'll be out there for you, interview, all that kind of. It'll be a good show. So let you know. So thank y'all for joining us tonight. Thank you, Big Town. Chad says Big Q gonna take Breeze NBC. Oh no, bro. But thank y'all, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Respect y'all, man. Y'all be safe out there. Peace. Who that? I'll be back tomorrow. Peace out.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome. Number 1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that? Who got cut and who back? Book rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation? Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Super Bowl.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q